I've got fantasies.
Well, Happy New Year. Happy 2025. Welcome back to the Deeper Issues Nerdcast. I want to apologize to everybody. We are getting a very, very late start. I say 7:30-ish because, I throw that ish in for all the ish that could go down, and there's some ish that may have gone down. I really want to apologize to Mama Slepsky more than anything. We'll get into that. My name is Pablo Romero Estevez. In the studio with me, I have Joe, the host, the CEO of the Joe on Joe podcast, comic book aficionado, swell human, Joe Slepsky in the building.
My pleasure, Pablo. It's so great to be here.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you for joining us. Wishing you a very, very happy birthday really quick. Olivia Diddy King. Happy birthday to you.
Royalty free now.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Diddy. You gotta hold it up higher for the camera. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's see.
You got the Buntinis. Yep, Olivia.
Fire right now. Oh, and these won't go out.
Diddy. Yeah, it's you better put that fire out.
Yeah, that's imported from the Palisades.
Oh my God.
There's one still on.
That's pure
Get it?
that's
An
pure
ember.
uncut LA wildfire fire you got there.
Are
Wow.
these trick candles?
They
At a
look-
time
they
like
look-
this?
they look trick. In this economy,
No, they're not. These are real candles. You're just not.
they look trick though. They look weird.
I swear.
They're
do look
special
trick.
color. They're special color.
Tommy Jeff, help me.
Thank
you guys.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Olivia Diddy King. Behind you like how he did that, by the way? It was
That
just
was
like
very-
bam in the introduction.
Wow.
Hit you with it. It's Diddy's
Exciting.
birthday, everybody.
Thank
Happy
you
birthday,
guys.
Diddy.
Is it today?
It was yesterday.
Awesome.
We're glad you were born.
Thank you. Me too.
Running the decks. The man responsible for all our technical issues.
Damn
The
straight.
scapegoat of the
Wheels
show.
of steel.
Not only is he the right hand of the Deeper Issues Nerdcast, he's also the scapegoat at the Deeper Issues Nerdcast. Mr. Tie photographer. To his left, Mr. Tommy Jeff here, our in-house legal counsel and fact checker, per usual. If this is your first time joining us, we are the Deeper Issues Nerdcast. Normally, what we do is we bring you a fresh #1 comic that you need no background or extra information to be able to enjoy. We normally feature comics outside the most prominent publishers, Marvel and DC, because there's already so many knowledgeable, talented creators out there who can help you with that. We are the anti-gatekeeping comic book podcast. We're not here to gatekeep, intimidate, but instead help you confidently walk into your local comic shop, discover what speaks to you, find compelling stories, appreciate modern art. So welcome to the place where we think all the deep thoughts about all the shallow things, where everyone is welcome to join and discuss and nerd out with us. This is the Deeper Issues Nerdcast. Just one more time around the horn. I want to spotlight Joe Slepsky, who drove all the way. He trekked for
I
this.
did.
You guys
I did.
trek, but
I sat in traffic.
yeah,
Oh,
but you also now are breathing in air that isn't filled with asbestos.
Well, it was clean air until we just had a bonfire 2 feet away from me, and now it smells like California.
yeah.
PTSD.
No, I love. Thank you. It took an invite to be live streaming for me to come out to your house for the first time.
Yeah.
I met your child. You talk about your family on the show, right?
Yeah.
You're
people-
not putting up like some
No.
some kayfabe that you're a swinging bachelor out on the internet. You got no
Absolutely
family,
not.
no kids, nothing holding you down.
That's Tommy Jeff.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Yeah, people
yeah.
think I'm his kid.
Wait, you're not.
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah, no,
yes.
Pablo, thank you for having me, man. It's so excited. I do a solo podcast, and so to be able to talk to people live and in person, I might flip out. And you swear on this podcast,
Yeah.
which I don't on mine. So
Yeah, we say it all. Fuck shit.
Hell yeah, brother.
fuck yeah.
Yeah. Everybody, favorite curse
we
word all
swear,
three.
we swear the worst. Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah.
But
But
We've been known to drop a few HE double sippy straws from time to time. So normally what we do on this show, we're switching it up. I think this is the last time. Joe said this is the last time we can talk about 2024.
It is. After this weekend, you're toast. You're old. You're passe.
Yeah, there's a Curb Your Enthusiasm episode where you can't say Happy New Year after the 7th. Is clearly way past the 7th at this point. But if you haven't been keeping up with the news and what's happening, LA has been on fire.
We were supposed to record the night of the big one.
Yeah.
When everything was ablaze. We were supposed to be out here.
We were supposed to do this absolutely at a different time.
Here's how Pablo was plugged into social events. I was that morning. I woke up. I go, man, it looks kind of crazy. I don't know if we're still going to go tonight. He's like, oh yeah, we're good.
Well,
That's the Orange County.
I was like, Pablo, I don't know if you're paying attention, but I think things are popping off today. Yeah, we're fine.
Down here in Orange County, it's just been really staticky.
but
Yeah,
well,
DOC's got a lot of electricity.
It's been hell.
Hey, I when I came into the OC, no one punched me in the face and called me a bitch. That's what I expected.
Well, the show's not
Well,
over
it's
yet.
early.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
There's
Welcome to the OC. bitch.
Tommy Jeff.
He's
Get out
lighting
here.
up right now.
Should I pee on your foot first?
The night is young.
Night is young,
Mhm.
and so are we.
Yeah, is this your first time crossing like the orange curtain in a minute?
No, in a minute. Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
out here a handful of times. I come out here for, was it WonderCon that's out here?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah. I come out for WonderCon stuff. But yeah, no, I haven't spent this much time in residential OC.
Yeah. This is
This is really residential OC for me.
I like this residential life. I didn't think I was going to initially love like suburban dad, but now I'm like settled into it.
You're opening a Olive Garden around the corner.
I smoke weed in my back behind my garage, I'm like an adult now.
Yeah, sure.
That's how that works. Normally we go around and we ask how everybody's week was, but we decided that Ty does way more cool shit than everybody in this room at all times.
It's very true.
Ty, what are you up to?
All sorts of
Are you,
things.
are you leading that circus?
Yeah.
He is. He
I
really
am.
is. He's like young and single and like going to all sorts of concerts and
Oh,
eating bratwurst at the
Ty's
club.
out there
and-
getting
Yeah.
it wet.
Yeah.
I mean,
Good for
I
you.
mean, yeah.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah.
Ty, two words, Ty. Road trim.
Mm,
Hmm.
there you go, Ty.
okay.
Road trim.
Yes, you guys are too young.
I don't know.
You guys are too young.
I'm like,
generational
waiting,
gap
I'm
here.
like waiting for someone
So-
to explain. I'm like,
Generational gap. Trim is an old word for.
Tail.
Ty is
Oh,
Ty's the
okay.
most modest like guy. Like he's
Yeah.
definitely blushing. I guess he's turning beet red right now. But instead of
my eczema.
oh sorry.
Hey, guess what? 2025 not covered.
That's it.
2025 has been pretty fucking wild so far.
Mhm.
Crazy.
Yeah. So we're gonna have a lot of lessons this year. I feel like we're gonna learn a lot of things. Hence this whole new segment
Oh.
versus just around the bend. We're gonna I don't know, maybe cue up a sound effect. We need to figure this out. What did we learn? So versus just how is your week? We can go and ask around. What did we learn this week?
Oh.
Why don't you go first, Pablo?
You want me to go?
Yeah.
first?
Yeah.
You set the tone here
Oh,
because I have thoughts.
Well, firstly, I learned how to use this Roadcaster. I learned that
Did you though?
we always have technical difficulties.
It seemed to be a guess.
Yeah,
Does that work?
it was an educated wish.
That's right.
Yes, yes.
What did I learn this week? Hold on, I wrote this down. I learned about being a millennial parent and what it is like starting a new Pokemon game when you have kids. Tommy Jeff, one day you may know about this. I'm a big Pokemon guy, right? And I'm very meticulous. I put together specific teams. I level up my Pokemon evenly. I don't let one get overly powered.
You're talking digital, not card, right?
Not card,
Yeah.
no. I mean, card too, because my kids recently got into Pokemon cards as well. And
But not Pokemon Go. It's like actual.
well,
Which,
all
yeah,
of
which
all of
which
the
game?
above.
Which game?
All of the above. I have submitted my Pokemon Go account to my son's iPad.
Adios, trainer.
I haven't played it in a minute. We started a Let's Go Eevee. I have my Let's Go Pikachu. I'm like, you can't. This is Dad's game. And here, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you.
Don't
Let's
mess
Go
up my
Eevee.
stats.
I already have my stats. Everything's saved this way. And then my daughter started getting into Pokemon.
This is Dad's
Hard.
pocket. This is Dad's pocket
So
monster. Don't touch Dad's pocket monster. Get your own.
Oh no, my stats.
Oh, my showers are not my turtle man.
I have a funny story about Charizard.
Who was the dude in the which detective Pokemon I thought was really fun.
None
I
of
thought
them
that
are
was really
dudes, they're
great.
all Pokemon.
The dude's in the
Oh.
car. The dude in the car that is it a rabbit or bunny or something that explodes? They had to keep chill unless he would explode. Exploding duck.
Oh, Psyduck.
Psyduck.
Oh.
That dude is funny.
Yeah, he's got a consistent headache because of his psychic abilities.
Yeah, it was the car scene. Yeah, because they
Yeah.
had to keep him really chill, otherwise he would
Yeah,
explode.
if his
I
headache
that
gets
dude was
out of
really,
control.
that dude was really funny. Yeah.
Psychic blast.
You know, I mean,
yeah,
it's like
Come on, dude.
why did I invite you? Get the fuck out of my garage!
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Hey,
Tell me, Jeff, please. Tell me.
hey guys.
So you've learned to let go.
Legal counsel, security now.
You did go ahead, buddy. I got you covered.
Yeah, I don't know about meticulously organizing, how specific I am, my OCD about my Pokemon, how I even organize them, what kind of nicknames I give them, because I don't give my Pokemon nicknames, because who the fuck does that? I'm not a kid. But I have kids now. So they they do all that.
Who you crapping?
Uh,
Don't crap me now. No.
but
Only
Yeah.
kids name their Pokemon
jeez, I mean, who would-
nicknames.
but it is, I am teaching them how to
Silly.
battle properly. I'm teaching them the rules of Poke engagement.
You just need to teach them Nuzlocke.
The what?
A Nuzlocke is where they can only catch one Pokemon per route.
And if it dies, it dies.
And then if it dies, it's dead.
Oh,
If he dies,
Wow.
he dies.
It dies.
oh my
If it
god.
dies, it dies.
Uh,
No Poke Center.
But it is cool. We did. I don't know if you guys know about Pokemon
That's
like
harsh.
Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu. They're basically a remake of the original game.
But it's like easier for kids, right?
Well, no, it's just
Pokemon
update.
Go style.
It's just
Oh.
updated.
Yeah.
It's just updated. You can transfer Pokemon Go characters. It's just like 3D graphics,
Mm.
but it's just the original game, same story and everything. And I'm kind of getting them started there. It's very text heavy, so I have to play it with him because he's only 5.
Yeah.
And
You have to play with him because you need someone to read for you.
yeah. Exactly. So yeah, I'm teaching them. Like I said, Poke engage, the rules of Poke engagement. Basically all the things: when to hold them, when to fold them, when to walk away, when to throw a Pokeball, and when to run.
This is my Pokemon Kene Roger.
Yeah, yeah. I'm the fucking Pokemon Rogers.
And
here.
only children would nickname him, but I have called him the Gambler.
I don't think I've nicknamed anyone. Do you give your Pokemon names?
No, I've never nicknamed them, and I've always criticized people that have.
Yeah. See, see?
They already
I'm like
have
a
names.
purist.
Yeah, but
I'm a
the thing is,
purist.
you and I are in the minority. with
Put a-
this.
you know-
Like, we genuinely
he's
are.
on
Give him a little microphone. man.
Everyone, hey microphone. Everyone nicknames their Pokemon, and like you and I are.
I don't
really in
nickname my
the minority with it.
Pokemon.
Yeah, my thing is
Oh,
like
oh, Ty, you nickname your Pokemon?
give a shit.
This is so
See,
fun.
my thing is I did try playing a playthrough one day of, I think it was like Pokemon Diamond or something, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna nickname my Pokemon. I got to like the 3rd gym and I hated every single name I had given my Pokemon, and I was like, this is dumb because I was never satisfied with it. Can't do it. Just not happening ever again.
But don't you get attached to them though? Like,
I
and
get
don't you
attached
want
to them
like,
because Charmander is Charmander.
okay? And can you
Skarmory
not
is
have 2
Skarmory.
Charmanders?
Yeah.
No, yeah, you can have as many as you want.
okay.
I mean, I
I'm-
won't, but yeah, no.
I know enough about Pokemon to make fun of it. I've never played Pokemon, so I don't.
Well, you're missing out.
It's
You
a
know,
it's
it
a
is-
RPG.
Oh, I
like-
mean,
yeah,
I know
you
what it is. Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I work in the video
Well,
game
then, hey,
industry.
look,
pal.
look,
I understand it. I've just never
Could you
played it.
imagine not understanding probably the largest like video game franchise?
Hey, the other thing,
It pays my rent.
yeah,
It's
Joe.
literally my job.
Mhm.
The other thing that I didn't freaking kind God, I just fell down a pothole. Never mind. Let's move on. That's what I learned was
Is that you can't play, you're struggling to learn how to adapt your Pokemon play style with your children's because
Yeah.
your children are enjoying it far better than you and I ever will.
that's true.
TJ's like those AI recaps now. You
Yeah,
can-
that was
I can't.
that was
Open,
some chat
This is why he's here.
I can't open an email. Like I get a thing on my phone and it's some AI thing going like, "Oh, your insurance has denied your claim." I'm like, "What?"
Oh, I know what
I,
I'm gonna say.
I don't need Meta AI to tell me this.
UHC says no.
Yeah, just let me read their poorly worded email.
the Pokemon. Well, you know, maybe you have the insight on this. I'm assuming does Pokemon rent out a lot or something? No, I guess nobody fucking
Does
rents
Pokemon
Pokemon. You
run
own
out?
that. Rent.
Rent.
Oh,
Because
Pokemon's a big seller, but a lot of people buy it from us.
yeah,
Mhm.
because
Yeah, they buy it from us because they get a discount on the purchase. And then they also go they go out of print basically.
yeah.
So we'll have it a little bit longer than some stores will have it.
Yeah, Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu were the first
Those did really
two,
big. Those did
Yeah.
really well for us.
I got, well,
the,
and
the first two games for the Switch, and they're still fucking $60 each.
yeah.
Well,
Well, and
Nintendo
Nintendo
games-
doesn't discount shit.
Bingo.
So
yeah.
like getting a discounted Nintendo game, first of all, you've won the jackpot.
Yeah.
If it's a primary Nintendo licensed game.
Free
Mm.
plug. So I'm going to say this, so then I can write off my gas money for taxes. Yeah,
Smart.
yeah. GameFly is
So
great
smart.
for Nintendo players, Switch players, because they don't ever drop prices.
I didn't
So
know if we could
Switch
talk
players-
about you.
Yeah, I work for GameFly.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, it's great for Switch players because there is no discount program.
Yeah.
Those old games are still $60.
I will say this
Wow.
though,
Yeah.
I need to get
and
Game-
I really don't like this specific company, but there is a specific company that ends all their pricing with 98 instead of 99, and you can almost always get a $10 price discount at launch for most Nintendo games.
Hmm.
They did it with Echoes of Wisdom with Zelda,
Yeah.
and that is unfortunately who got my money because
Yeah, it
GameStop
happens.
closed by me.
Well, who's the other company then? That's the only thing. GameStop.
It's a big blue one.
Oh, and yellow.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, they
So,
still
I
still
just
sell
don't-
physical games though.
yeah.
They do.
Yeah,
Oh.
if you can muster through going through that disgusting store, it smells like shit in every single one.
Man, they screwed me on I bought years, it goes back maybe 8 years. They screwed me on a purchase that it was a DVD player I think I needed, just didn't work. The straight up didn't work. And they're like, "Oh no, you missed the 14-day window." I'm like, I didn't have a chance to open it and plug it in. So I fired them. Literally haven't shopped there in like 8 years.
Yeah.
I used to be one of
Would
their
you-
platinum
are you
members
trying
with
not
points
to
and
put
all that.
down Best Buy.
That's why it's terrible. What are they sponsoring the show?
No,
That's why it's
Oh my
terrible.
If they want
God,
to
Best
sponsor
Buy.
the show, but if you want to sponsor
No,
the show,
no.
Best
Whoa,
Buy,
whoa.
Come
First of
on.
all,
But if you want-
actually,
we're
this wasn't
sellouts.
about Best Buy.
Best Buy.
Oh.
I guess
They're for
the
sale.
blue isn't as common for this. They're a specific family that used to sell American made goods.
Oh, you're talking
back
about Walmart.
when-
Now you're talking about
Dude,
Walmart.
don't say the name.
They'll
Oh,
take everything
Yeah,
back.
they're terrible.
Yeah, no,
you're
they're
right.
trash.
The 98 cents.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
the
yeah,
98
yeah,
cents
yeah,
and
you're right.
everything. I absolutely attest that. So this is the first time in like a decade that I shopped
Yeah.
there, and I
Mm.
bought Legends of Echoes because I was going to GameStop, and it was across the parking lot,
Yeah.
and they were closed. Yeah,
Well,
And they
GameStop,
were
you could have
closed.
traded in an old game for 38
Uh,
cents.
that's so true. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, 38
I mean,
cents.
come on.
So I
somebody's
walked across the parking lot, and it
somebody's
was
got to
$10
invest in
cheaper.
meme coin and NFTs.
Yeah.
That company almost true story. That company almost went under.
And
Right,
then it was
right.
the whole meme stock thing that saved
No,
their ass.
Well, yes, that, but
Oh,
everyone
yeah,
knows that. But the reason they were going under before Xbox Series X, the most recent one, before that dropped, Microsoft came in. That's why they're able to sell. That's why they sell digital copies of Microsoft games, of Xbox games.
Oh.
They were going under. Microsoft needed an outlet for literally physically to get the boxes into people's hands. So they came in and rescued them.
No
then,
kidding.
yeah, then they were still doing terrible because they're managed terribly. Then they, yeah,
Sorry.
and then they,
Yeah, I go, yeah.
then, yeah, see, you're just echoing me to get me fired.
no.
Then the meme coin,
deep
then the meme stock thing happened. But prior to that, they were not doing very well,
Yeah.
and Microsoft came in and bought. I don't know. I have no
That
idea what
explains a lot of
percentage
sense
it.
because what's his name who spearheaded all of that
Is-
was following the whole Microsoft
Bingo.
side of it and
Yeah.
was like, you know what, I can spend $1,000
Right.
on $1 stock.
Yeah.
And literally he
They
was just
hired-
posting everything on Reddit. Yeah.
They hired. I don't know the details, so someone on the internet's gonna be like, "You're wrong," but they hired somebody from the Microsoft side, came in to run the thing, and
Really?
yeah, and there was. I mean, it's not a secret, but
No,
it's
yeah.
but they came in and bought it, but it was literally to get Xboxes into people's hands because
Is
You know, they
the-
needed
You need a physical store.
Yeah,
to do that,
right.
yeah.
Because in-person shopping is now gone. You know, and they did, and scalpers online are so
bot
you know,
orientated.
it's so hard to get them because it's just bots and people
Yeah.
like that.
There we go.
So they needed a way to get them in hand. So that's true, sir.
That's a what did I learn today?
That is
Yeah.
one.
Hey, we all learned that.
We just all learned
Figure-
some shit.
and then they decided that NFTs were the future. What?
Which I still think is the wildest.
NFT is
business
definitely not the
decision
So
in the
stupid.
world.
It's all about
so
AI
stupid.
now.
Like,
It's so
yeah.
stupid.
Ty, what did you learn anything this aside from the school and you just got did you learn anything this week? Did you learn something? I don't know if she wants to talk about what she learned.
I told you I'd take that to my grave.
Oh.
Oh, I need to know
Yeah,
now.
now we need to know.
I'll tell you when the cameras are up.
The camera. Oh. So am I going next or is Diddy going
I
next?
don't know. Would you-
I think Diddy needs to go
Why don't we
next.
do this?
I
Why don't you
can't.
tell your story, but put the camera on me and I'll enact it?
Yeah, there you go.
It's like an improv game
Done.
where someone's doing the voice and someone else has to act it out.
Diddy, what did you learn this week? You're a whole year wiser. You need to have learned something. Well, you
I told you that,
other
stop it.
stuff aside from that.
No, I think what we landed on yesterday was that when it's your birthday and you go, like all my work friends took me out
Mm.
and we went to like 3 different places, and that third place like got me, and we got home at like 3 a.m. and I was like, yesterday all day I was like, oh my god, what am I up to? Why am I going to 3 places? Just go home.
So once you're entering your 30s, you can 2 places max.
That's it.
You know,
I think so.
I'll
I
tell
think
you.
you know what? I think it drops down to no
Yeah, when
places.
you-
Like
and when
right
you
now,
turn-
I'm
when you
feeling
turn
no
50, you're just
places.
dry.
Spot on. Spot on.
Livers crawled out
just,
like something out of the substance.
Like literally.
we went out for a friend's birthday for dinner at like downtown Disney earlier this week. Our friend Liz, shout out Doña Liz, happy birthday.
Shut up, represent Skype.
And afterwards they're like, where are we going? I'm like,
Home.
fuck, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I don't go out. Like,
Yeah.
so I go to dinner and I usually get full and I go to sleep.
Dude, I
Yeah.
got a niece who's amazing, and she's thinking about work. She wants to work in the film industry, studying this.
Yeah.
And she's thinking about like coming out to California. And I'm not even kidding you. There's existential dread in the back of my head when she comes out here, and
Yeah,
like,
she's
I
gonna
have
go
to
out.
somehow
Yeah.
show her the hot spots. I'm like, I'm 50.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
going-
yeah, sir.
I'll give
You're,
you a list.
yeah, you're gonna be so disappointed in your uncle's nightlife.
That's what I'm saying. We went to a bar down the street. I was
I'm
like,
married and 50. That ain't happening.
Well, there's a lot of hot spots right now. But
we lucked out our bar.
Oh.
Oh, two.
that's not
Doom.
funny. That isn't funny.
Sad trombone.
That isn't funny.
Ty, did you learn anything this week?
I learned how serious some people take their Pokemon game, I guess.
Yeah.
Spot
You
on.
know what I'm saying?
Spot on.
What did I learn this week? I know I had like it prepped and it's gone.
Dang.
Nothing.
Well, I will say I'm learning a little bit more with trading cards, I guess, because like during the pandemic, I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of people were like really into Pokemon cards and like opening stuff up. And my brother and I have always been into that. Like, and I grew up with Pokemon, so I'd open up cards and whatnot. But I've been cleaning out my room, and what I learned is that there are certain cards, like obviously with Pokemon, there's like the alternative art, whatever. I found an X-Men card recently.
Yeah, you've been
Awesome.
slinging X-Men cards.
Yeah. And it was an Emma Frost card, and in my head I'm like, well, I know that Marvel Rivals is like making more of like the smaller characters more relevant now. I know Cloak and Dagger are characters in that game, so I was like, okay, I'll probably put this up for sale. Let me go look on this on eBay really quick. There is one card on the census, and it's a grade 8 out of 10 on PSA. It is $950.
For like you're talking about the Marvel 90s cards?
No, so funny enough, this was Marvel Beginnings, but they do this every other year. So this was from 2012, and
Okay.
I even have the box still we got from Christmas.
wow.
My brother and I, we got like a box to split.
So there's new X-Men cards. I remember the 90s cards.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I still got those. Those are the Jim Lee X-Men cards. Are dope.
Yeah.
I had all the 2099 series ones. That was
Yeah,
like,
I've
oh,
got the. I
2099.
guess
Yeah.
the Marvel Heroes one, the Skybox one, that very first one. they did,
Yes.
that has jumped up in value.
hmm
Crazy.
My brother had the Skybox cards,
Yeah.
so like we have a bunch of them, and it's just we're kids, so they're just in a
Yeah.
box. Like this card was in a box. I didn't protect it or anything, and
Mhm.
the bottom of it's a little not in the best condition.
Should
But
sell it. or
So
what?
is it still that like worth that?
well, that's
well,
what
it's graded though. It's like a.
Yeah,
it's a
how
hard
are
yours
they?
is graded.
mine's not graded.
Oh, okay.
So my brother was like, I don't
Yeah,
know,
you're
throw
just
it up.
filthy and unprotected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just,
Just a filthy unprotected
My
car.
car needs some penicillin.
Yeah.
yeah, like I don't know, like I.
Slinging cardboard on the streets.
That's right. You want to buy some cards?
One of
Want to
those
look at the
things.
backside?
But yeah, like I'm just learning that there's so much more than I thought in terms of like trying to sell cards. I thought it was like, what most people do, especially with comic books. Like I'm sure you guys are
Yeah.
familiar. Like go to eBay, last sold. Okay, last sold for 20. I'll sell for 15 just so it's out of the house.
Right.
Hell, I'll sell it for 10. But it's like this is the first time where I'm like, there's no information.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the card.
There's probably some like back alley message boards. It's like some dirty
Who has the
nerds are
hollow
on-
dagger card? I've been searching it
I'm
since
sure, I'm
2012.
sure.
I heard that because of Rivals, there's a lot of newbies, whatever.
Yes.
That people were like, "Oh, Cloak and Dagger, are brother and sister," and I saw this on Twitter where people who've actually read a comic book in their life are like, "Are you out of your mind?"
Yeah.
Like they're supposed to be together. I guess that was something that floated around the internet last week.
Mm.
Haven't they been reinvented? Aren't they like Hawkman and Hawkgirl, like that have been like reinvented 1,000 times? And like, I
I
think
don't
like
know-
now it's
I
like
don't
they're
know
like
about that.
destined to be together.
Well, they're just
but at some point they were siblings too. And
no,
then
they've never been siblings.
Hawkgirl, not Cloak and Dagger. But
Oh, Hawkman and Hawkgirl.
Yeah, they switched them.
That's reincarnation. That was
Yeah, but Cloak
wisely-
and Dagger have never been.
No,
siblings.
they were
No.
they were
There's
best
thinking-
friends who
yes, they're
they
thinking of the
were
Wonder
warning. They were
Twins.
the just say no drug thing.
the Wonder
drug-
Twins.
They were the drug scare characters from the 80s. They were victims.
Is that
of-
really their
yeah,
origins?
yeah, they were victims. They were drug addicts. Both of them were, and they were both drug addicts. Tandy and Cloak's name is escaping me, but her name's Tandy, and they were both drug addicts, and they were both homeless, and they got pulled into a like a scheme where like a power broker or somebody was doing experiments on kids, and they got these powers of light and dark. So that the light and dark is what thematically kind of says they're yin and yang.
Yeah, yeah.
But they were in love with each other, but it's kind of like unrequited love. There was a lot of yearning, and then they'd be together and they wouldn't be together, but ultimately they're supposed
Well,
to be
everybody
together.
would tell you that's an AA. Addicts shouldn't date each other.
Well, they're clean now, though. But that's the thing. So her
Yeah, but
Her
you're still an
light-
addict, right?
her light kept Cloak from being absorbed
Now,
by the dark force.
There was like
Because that was like corrupting his soul because he was just living in the shadow all the time. So she would help him with that. So
there was a freeform Cloak and Dagger,
Yeah,
like
yeah, TV show.
gritty. Did they tap on that? Was
yeah,
it?
I think so.
was
I
like-
only saw a couple episodes. I didn't. I don't have free form on
Because you just sold me on
on
Cloak and
autoplay.
Dagger. I was
Cloak
like,
and
oh, who are
Dagger's-
these?
Cloak and Dagger's great, but that is their story. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's a cool story.
anti-drug, like
Yeah.
homeless street kids.
All right.
Yeah, and she was like a ballet dancer from the suburbs, like Naperville. Well, yeah, she was like from like that upbringing, and Cloak was more more urban, gritty. But they met on the streets because their mutual love for drugs.
Wow.
Wow.
I like that.
Something we all learned.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, that's what you
Yeah.
found out.
Yeah,
this
that's what I
week.
found out.
And that is, we learned something. Cool.
I feel like I
well,
learned a lot just now.
I did. We just learned a lot. Well, let's move on to news and stuff.
No, I'm not even joking about that.
Oh my god!
Not even joking. You're not going to ask me.
Hold on.
That's a thing.
Let's.
Is that you freeze out
Can
the
you
guest?
tighten Joe's camera a little bit? Get it a little tighter on Joe Slefsky's face right now. Can you?
Yeah.
All right.
Is that it? We're ignoring
Joe,
Joe.
what? All right, Joe.
Listen.
Yeah, you got to manually.
I don't get out of
There we
bed
go.
for less than ask a question of what I found out
You're right.
this week.
You're right. This is my.
He's like, I'm teaching
working
you
on this,
every-
man.
Yeah, man, I've been doing this for 9 years.
Clearly, as you
You
just
got to
dropped
acknowledge
it,
all the members of your show. That's
from
why
the 30 minutes of
Also-
troubleshooting to the show. We're figuring this shit
Yeah,
out on the fly,
I
man.
was trying to figure out these things. And I'm sitting 5 feet away, giving them all the tips. I'm like, well, check this, clear that, test the mic, test the cord.
Thank you.
Okay, now we've isolated it to that.
Joe, what did you learn this week?
I learned that you don't know how to set up your own fucking podcast.
Damn!
Fuck. Jesus
Those are
Christ.
just
Jesus
those
Christ.
air horns are sacred. They should be reserved for.
Oh my
that was a pretty
God.
good air horn moment.
No, honestly, this week I've been setting up my Plex server,
Yes.
media server, baby.
So Joe's about to drop some knowledge on you fools right now. He's a streaming giant. He's just at Joe Slepsky has entered the streaming wars, ladies and gentlemen.
I have. Move over. Netflix is raising their prices. Guess what? You can access my streaming Plex platform. I'll give you $5 a month.
Hot damn.
Yeah, Netflix is going to raise it to $25. You give me $5. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, wait, you're gonna give
No.
me $5?
I'll pay you $5 a month, but you can only access the audio of the Joe and Joe podcast. No, yeah, I'm excited. We finally, so I'm an old man. I like cable. I grew up on cable, like old school cable, flipping channels, having a lot of choices.
Yeah, like TikTok, right?
Yeah, just like TikTok.
I mean, literally just
I just finally cut the cord last fall, is what I'm saying. I finally got rid of like landline cable. Yeah, because I like cable TV, and I'm sorry, I can afford it.
Yeah. Wow. Excuse me.
But no, but we finally cut the cord. So now we're living in a super non-cable world. So I'm like, I'm finally going to do it. Set up my own media service. I've been doing that this week, ripping and getting. I got all these great old cartoons set up, ready to go.
And you're using Plex.
I'm using Plex. It's really easy. It's super easy to set up. It works literally in the car right here. I had my phone streaming some old movies I haven't watched in a long time.
So you basically it's like, hey, this it's like your old iTunes album.
Yeah,
like your own iTunes library.
It's your own personal streaming Netflix library, but it's only for your discs. And so if you've got a lot of discs or you've got a ton of VHS here, just rip it into a file and you have it sit on a drive, and then you can access it from your phone, from your TV. There's Plex apps on all the TVs. Your friends can, like, I've got the Super Bowl 20. It takes place in New Orleans. Bears Super Bowl 20. We've got that video.
Yeah,
so I share that with my friends in Chicago. They can watch that anytime. Go Bears.
How do you have that? Is it like
it's the old VHS from when we recorded it in 85 in 86 rather. 85 Bears, 86 was the Super Bowl.
Oh, like this is a recording.
This is from the VHS. Yeah, I ripped it years ago and it was on a CD. So now I ripped it into a digital file that is streaming. So it's like the original recording with the commercials and halftime show, and then post-game stuff with like Carol Marine and Mark Giangreco on the streets of New York with all these drunk Bears fans.
I love shit like that.
Dude, it's awesome. So so you can give that link. I can just invite my friends, whoever wants to watch that, and then they can just stream it. And they're essentially streaming it from my desktop. But it streams just like Netflix. Like there's no difference. I got Pure
what
Peyton,
the hell?
the video Pure Peyton I got set up for him. I watched that this week. That was amazing.
Let me tell you, I feel like, oh my,
it's great.
And it's just struck me brain.
100, and it was 100. So it's a paid service, but it's $100. There's probably ways to do it like quote unquote for free, but I'm not that technical. It was $100 for a lifetime. So like, okay, sign me up.
I would pay Netflix prices for television like that with the old like I troll like eBay for people who have like the pre-recorded wrestling tapes with like the commercials and everything like that. If there was a service that just had
Night Flight, check out Night Flight.
Well, like the Wayback Machine kind of thing.
Oh yeah,
right?
Yes.
If you had that where I could watch the Super Bowl 20 or whatever it may be with all in its original format, because we live in an age where everybody just redoes, like I mean George Lucas fucked us all over with these Star Wars special edition. I'm gonna blame it on him. He started this shit.
That's what I just ripped. I just ripped the original undiluted Star Wars, so you can stream that.
I got them right here on VHS, baby.
Well, no, there was one digital release they did. It was a 2-disc set. It probably was around 2005.
So it's like a higher resolution.
Yeah, so it was around 2005. People were so clamoring for it on DVD. It would have been DVD at the time. They were like, release the originals. So they caved in and they were like, all right, this is the only time we're doing it. And it's a 2-disc set. The main disc in the set was the special editions, but there was a secondary disc and it had the originals. They weren't specialed up. They weren't cleaned up that much, but it's the best copy they have and it's on a DVD. So you rip that and it's absolutely just like watching the VHS without any of the fuzz, any of the top bottom issues
like
that
the
you
fuzz.
have.
The fuzz is what makes it
No, I
good.
do, but
the vinyl,
some
the
of the
vinyl
times-
sound is what
but
makes the
some of
vinyl nice. Right?
I like VHS too. One of the problems when you do transferred is that
Look how good that looks.
yeah, but because that's just a VHS. But when you rip it to a digital, it grabs more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It grabs more of the screen. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you get those weird lines on the top and bottom. That's a little off-putting. But I love the fuzz and warmth, especially Star Wars looks great with that warmth. Star Wars looks so good in that because it was made for that. They knew,
absolutely.
those guys were such masters. They knew what would show up and what wouldn't. So it's a little fuzzy in some places. And yeah,
I love that.
So that's what I've been doing this week. Just ripping old videos and movies and stuff. It's
So if
great.
you go to the Joe and Joe podcast, you can find Joe's Plex
No, you go to the
How's
Joe.
it work?
No,
How would I get your Plex? Like if you're
you
like,
just
hey, show me your,
just sign up for Plex. Give me your email.
that's it. I sign up for Plex and I say I want
Yeah, you can sign up for a free account too.
Joe's library.
Yeah, so you tell. I mean, you call me. I don't want strangers calling me, but unless you want to pay for it.
We're gonna give out Joe's number at the end
Yeah,
of the
totally.
Yeah,
show.
Well, finally,
Joe's
listen,
phone
you
number
guys
at the
can
end of
all
the
find me
show.
at Joe and Joe Pod, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Yeah, no, Joe and Joe Pod is going strong. Literally got my Twitter reminder that like 9 years ago last week, it reminded me that I first started that Twitter handle. So 9 years ago last week was when I was setting up all my socials and
You
everything.
have been doing the Joe and Joe podcast for a hot minute.
And I've done over.
This should have been at the beginning of the show. I should
Yeah,
have been
no,
like,
no,
hey,
no, it's
the
okay,
Joe
no.
and Joe podcast.
It's
Tell
okay.
me.
It's okay. Not everyone's a professional.
No, no.
I've done over 400 episodes. We've done a lot of fun stuff, this and there, and there's some changes that are coming up this year. And,
Yeah.
But
It's the only G.I. Joe podcast where somebody named Joe is.
well, it's the slogan is
Done.
it is the greatest G.I. Joe podcast you will ever hear during the half hour you're listening to it,
Nice.
and that is a guaranteed fact.
Yeah.
Bam.
Yeah.
Boom.
Guaranteed fact. But no, it's great. It's fun. I've met a ton of great people over the years. It's a fun community. But the show started, and most of the episodes are us doing Mystery Science Theater, watching it. You've been a guest, so we watch an episode together
Yeah.
and we Mystery Science
I have.
Theater. And most of my guests have never seen an episode of G.I. Joe before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun.
Nice.
People just going, "What is happening? Like, how is this a thing?" And then I've covered every issue of the comic book, so 155 issues of the Marvel comic book. I've dedicated one episode to each issue.
Dang.
Yeah, page by page,
I
panel by
told you,
panel,
I
and
wanna-
excruciating detail.
Whenever you go through the E-Bombs World
I-
G.I. Joe parodies,
I have a connection.
That's when I want to.
So apparently,
Yeah, like Community's G.I. Joe episode.
yeah. So apparently with E-Bomb, my best friend apparently knows that guy.
That's
So
amazing.
I've been waiting to make that connection. And that the community thing. We do a thing on my show where we make up our own code names. If you were guessing on my show, we gave
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
I forget what yours was, but yeah. You don't remember.
I don't know. It was
Son
a
of
while
bitch.
ago. I was on. The
No,
show.
it was a while ago.
Don't invited me back.
But my name, unironically, was Deep Dish because Chicago. And look at me. I like pizza. And I had never seen that community episode.
Oh, that's so funny.
Well, guess what? On the community episode, one of the guys is named Deep,
Deep
Dish.
dish, yeah.
And I'm like, when I finally watched it, it was, I don't know, 2 years after I'd first come. I got on the podcast. I'm like, you sons of bitches. I didn't swear. But I'm like, no one told me.
No one told me.
'Cause no one mentioned to me that the guy in the community. Yeah, so then I had to change it to old style.
Mm.
Old style.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out Chicago.
Nice.
So yeah, no, it's fun. So it's all G.I. Joe. Did it to get back in touch with something that I really loved as a kid, and it's worked.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. That's why we do this.
Yeah.
That's why we do it, folks.
I do it for that. And I do it for just fighting off the groupies.
The G.I. Joe groupies
That's the thing about being a G.I. Joe podcaster.
that they don't tell you.
Woof. Man, Rebecca is so jealous.
Yeah. Sure. If I can rains on
And
you.
I'll tell you what, man, it rains.
Yeah.
When it rains, it pours. They were like, how are we going to put out these wildfires? Let's have Joe do a live podcast in the middle of the fire. That'll put it out. We're like gushers everywhere.
On that note, this is news and stuff. Nice.
You're taking this whole you can cuss thing to a new level.
Sploosh.
We're not journalists, but we keep our ears to the nerdy streets. Sometimes we read articles, sometimes read the headlines. Most of the times we just read the headlines. This is news and stuff. Okay. So, well, do y'all want to? It's all bad news.
Yeah.
Fuck. 2025.
It's a hellscape. Pablo, it's a hellscape.
It's
Yeah.
terrible.
Even the non-political stuff is terrible.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like that same the day David Lynch died,
There we go.
Bob
Let's
Uecker died.
get into it then.
The Bob Uecker died, and it is not, but like the Janae Swarak, who directed Jaws 2 and Supergirl, died. Like
Mhm.
that one day. Like it's just a lot of nerddom dying.
I mean, Nintendo announced the Switch 2.
Shit,
Nintendo got strong armed into it because everyone in the
100% they
world was
did.
leaking it.
But that's at least a positive in my book because
That-
I'm anxious for the launch title that I'm hoping to be Metroid Prime. Anyways,
Awesome.
Thank you, Tommy John.
We'll kick off with it. Yeah, David Lynch died. I'm gonna quote the Atlantic on it because I kind of read I was looking for like, I mean, I know the greatest hits of the David
You're going
Lynch
to call
stuff.
it the Atlantic because you're sophisticated.
I'm sophisticated as fuck. I subscribe to Apple News.
Later
Plus,
on, we're going to
everybody.
talk about the New Yorkers
I just love
cartoon. They had a cartoon about David Lynch. It was David. He was standing in front of heaven and he said, "You don't exist."
David Lynch captured the appeal of the unknown. He kept viewers in the dark. This is an article. You can read it from The Atlantic by Emma Stefanski, I want to say. And I'm just going to kind of quote her on this. David Lynch famously aborted explaining himself. Believe it or not, Eraserhead is my most spiritual film. The director once said in his esoteric debut feature during a 2007 interview. When he was asked to elaborate, he replied, smiling, "No, I won't."
How'd I love that man?
What's your favorite David Lynch movie?
Well, Twin Peaks is like my favorite thing ever. Twin
Yeah.
Peaks like changed my life. But as far as his movies go, like Elephant Man is one of my favorite movies, just in general.
Mhm.
Mulholland Drive, Blue Velvet. I mean, they're all
Mulholland
really
Drive.
good.
I haven't seen all of his stuff. And I remember when Twin Peaks came out, because I was a kid in the 90s, for me, like I remember seeing it on in the afternoon and it never really appealed to me. But at some point I need to
Twin
go back.
Peaks in the afternoon.
Yeah, it used to play in the afternoon in New Orleans. I don't know.
Well, it's New Orleans. That explains it.
Oh,
But-
yeah.
but I would only be able to see it like on days where I stayed home sick.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if it was reruns or whatever it was, but that's like Twin Peaks would come on some random, like, I don't know, Channel 9 or some shit. And
Right.
but for me, it was like I was like just looking for cartoons and stuff.
In high
But-
school,
Yeah.
in high school, my buddy Chris and I
And it was too
rented-
highbrow.
My buddy Chris and I rented Blue Velvet, and it changed our.
That's what I was gonna
changed
say.
our
Yeah,
goddamn
Blue
lives.
Velvet, on the other hand,
Changed our lives. We didn't know movies could be like that. We didn't
Yeah.
like. It was like, this is amazing.
you didn't know that.
Blue, yeah, that's Blue Ribbon.
Yeah.
Fuck Heineken.
Yeah.
Like Blue Velvet was honestly, it was me, Chris, and I. We sat at his house, and we were just like, this is the craziest thing
Yeah.
we've ever fucking seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
David Lynch is like hands down one of my biggest like artistic inspirations and my favorite director. Like I love him. I actually cried when I found out he
sure.
died.
Makes sense.
Yeah, he was an auteur, and one can even argue that he set kind of the stage or the table for a lot of the things that we see now from directors and films. Ty, you being like the big A24 guy, and
Mhm.
were you a David Lynch guy or were you?
So I watched. It was so funny. The way I was introduced to Twin Peaks was in college. Like we had to learn about it and like watch like the first couple episodes. I just remember sitting in the back of the class, just not being able to take off my eyes off the screen, and I was like so enthralled. But this sounds so bad. When I was watching Twin Peaks, I was like, I get these Simpsons references now.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
There's a lot of
There's a lot.
That makes sense.
Damn
No, that
good.
makes sense.
And it's just like the Homer on the couch where he's like, damn good cherry pie. And he starts brilliant. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Brilliant. I
Yeah,
don't know what's going
a
on.
lot of writers on The Simpsons were the big fans
Oh,
Mhm.
Right.
Oh, huge fans.
of the David Lynch.
Also, oddly, Gilmore Girls have a lot of David Lynch
Are they really?
references.
What? Oh.
Yeah. like, so-
were they set in like the Northwest?
No,
something?
Connecticut.
Okay.
But they just what's her name? Palomino, the writer and of Gilmore Girls, was just a huge fan. So
Awesome.
they reference David Lynch like all the time in that show.
That's so cool.
R.I.P. David Lynch.
Yeah, I mean, literally, like artist
Hmm.
is the definition. You
Yeah.
know, like
Yeah.
just more than anything. Not a
Mhm.
director. You know, not a writer. Just an artist.
Yeah.
Like he created art, and
Mhm.
everything he did was an artistic expression, and that's so rare.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
so rare.
And I mean, come on, Dune.
Got to give it up.
I have literally fallen asleep during every screening of every version of Dune I've ever tried to watch.
David Lynch is it?
All of it,
Come on,
every time.
dude.
This is a funny story. In college, we were in a literature science fiction class, and we had to read Dune. I've never to this day gotten through the book. So we thought we would rent the movie, which obviously wouldn't work if you're talking about the novel in a literally in a college setting. But we figured it was better than nothing because the test was the next
Yeah,
day.
completely
We
different.
figured better than nothing though.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's some idea of what's going on. So we sit down to watch it, and our buddy falls asleep. And then me and my friend Swiss look at each other like, we don't want to watch this fucking movie. So we go, but Eric in the middle is sleeping. So we fast forward to the very end of it, and we changed the clock. It was 90, so there's an actual clock there. We changed the clock to like 2 hours later. And we're like, Eric, wake up, movie's almost over. And he's like, oh, and he's such a sweet kid. He was just naive and sweet and nice. And he's like, oh, what did I miss? We made up a version of Dune for him that involved sandworms. And we're like, yeah, because he saw the final fight. And we're like, yeah, you see that? That happened because of this. And we didn't tell him until after the test.
Oh my god.
Little did you know he passed it with flying.
We're walking home the next day, and he's like, what? And he's like, oh, man, we made all of that up.
Yeah.
But none of us
hilarious.
did well, but we made all of it up. Went on swinging.
What class in college were you talking about doing?
Science,
I went-
science fiction literature, U of I. Yeah, it was all sci-fi books. It was like,
That's my damn jam.
yeah, it was Dune and Ursula K. Le Guin and oh man, the one with the Shrike, Hyperion.
Mhm.
You ever read Hyperion?
Yeah, I read that.
So good,
So good.
so good.
Any Asimov, anything like that?
Yeah, read
Mhm.
Isaac Asimov. Yeah.
All right. That's all I know.
No, it was, like Childhood's End, and like it was like the classics of the genre. So it was a cool class. But I couldn't get through Dune. I still can't. I still have the copy that I had from 1993.
What about
University of
did
Illinois.
you like the new dudes? You didn't have it?
No, I liked it. It's just boring,
You
man.
just
I
fell
fall
asleep.
Yeah, it's just all boring.
Yeah.
But here's why, though. I do have a theory. No, I
Just kidding.
I have a theory though, and it's reflective on me. But I think so many things that so many things have stolen from Dune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
If-
you were just talking about Star Wars and how much
they've
you love
just
that.
straight
and
stolen.
then-
So like some of myself who I absorbed, I've watched a lot of science fiction. When I see finally Dune for the first time, and I'm 45 years old or whatever, you just go, oh, I've seen all this before, and I have to remind myself, well, this is the canon.
Mhm.
Mm.
You know, I should be more interested because this is where everyone
Everything.
stole.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I do like all the versions, even Lynch's.
Mhm.
But yeah, they put me to sleep.
I definitely loved Lynch's Dune. It
It's
was
Dune
so weird.
crazy.
Yeah,
It's so
It's
weird.
crazy. Could you imagine him doing that with Empire with Jedi? Imagine. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously they stole the Sarlacc from the worms and stuff, but like, do you imagine just bringing that kind of energy to a Star Wars movie?
That
would've
that'd
been
be
nuts.
awesome.
That'd be
Because you, I mean, you know that, right? He was the
Yeah.
original director.
Oh yeah, I
Mhm.
know that.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously that's a whole different timeline. That's also where Eric Stoltz was Marty McFly, I'm sure, in that timeline as well. But I would love to see that version of it.
What movie did they make that joke? It's time travel. Oh, it was Flash, the Flash movie.
Yeah, Flash.
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
Terrible,
Greatest fucking
Terrible
movie ever.
terrible, terrible. He came out last week and said that women aren't interested in the character of the Flash. Women aren't interested in the Flash. Grant Gustin had what eight or 9 seasons of a massive female fan base on WB.
Oh yeah.
No, it's just women don't want to watch an abusive POS portray your unlikable version of the Flash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That may be what women don't want to watch because they certainly loved watching Grant Gustin on the WB
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
or
what a-
CW. What is it? CW? What is it? I don't even know.
CW.
CW. Yeah. The WB.
Yeah, that was
Hello, my baby.
Oh my God.
it used to be the WB.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With the
yeah.
frog.
What an asinine statement to make.
Yeah.
All this from David Lynch. Yeah, it is. It is a stupid
I
statement.
like the tangent, Pablo.
No, it's fine. This is why we do this.
I
This is
hope
freaking,
that's okay.
Yeah, stream of consciousness conversation.
When
around here,
I
dude.
guess
it's 1,000%.
when I
okay.
guess in other people's podcasts, they end up turning into 2-parters.
Yeah,
I did John Carl's X-Men podcast. It was about one 23-minute episode of the X-Men. It was a 2-part,
hell yeah.
2-part extravaganza.
No, we're fucking going to midnight here. I don't give a fuck.
Sorry.
Okay,
Oh.
we're staying up all night now.
Birthday girl had a rough night.
You touched on this a little bit earlier, Joe. Netflix announces it's all just bad news. Netflix announces yet another price hike as it adds
Mhm.
to its record number of
Yeah.
new subscribers
Well, they're doing it because they're coming up on the finale for
for Stranger Things.
Stranger
Things.
Things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they know they're going to get their money for that.
Yeah, and I mean they got Squid Games is a
Yeah.
hit, right? That show is amazing.
Mhm.
I haven't watched the second season yet.
Holy smoke!
Yeah,
Good.
I've watched it.
Season 1 was great.
Season
Season
one was
one's
really
awesome.
good.
Yeah, for sure.
I didn't think honestly, like I don't know. I was just like, how are you gonna kind of follow this up? Where are you gonna go from here? But yeah, they did a
It's good.
Have you watch it?
yeah. I was
Okay.
like, there's no way this motherfucker's gonna end up back in these games. And I'm not to spoil it, Diddy. We'll talk about it at some other point. But yeah, it's
Okay,
fucking,
I'll
that
watch
motherfucker ends
I'll
up back
watch
in
it.
those games. But the way they did it, the way it all played out, like, damn, what a great show.
Yeah, it's a great show.
They got a lot of good stuff. I feel like they've been missing with films, but their series they still have.
Mhm.
I also I heard that they're not being as risky with. They're just like, hey, these are the IPs that we know are making a lot of money.
Yeah, they stopped
Yeah.
spending money like they used to. You know,
Which
a lot of the streamers.
Yeah, because they start like 10 new shows like every week, and then they cancel it after one season. And,
Right.
Yeah, and they put no
shows.
money in promotion, so you don't even hear about it
yeah.
until you hear that it's been canceled.
And
We
some
got-
of them are good,
Oh,
and they'll
sure.
never,
Yeah.
you'll never get any more of it.
That show on HBO about the making of the Marvel movies, I don't even remember what it's called. They canceled it already, but it was the one about making the blockbuster movies. You guys probably don't even know what I'm talking
No,
about.
I
No.
don't know.
It came and went in the fall. It was really, really good. Had a ton of cool people in it, and they put no promotion behind it, so no
Mm.
one watched it. And now they've announced that it's canceled. But it was great. It was a parody of what life is like on the set of making these Marvel superhero big budget movies.
Interesting.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's pretty entertaining, and it's totally
I
universal.
haven't even heard of that.
and it's timely. Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's canceled.
I would be
Damn.
on board with that concept if you integrated the Muppets into it.
Oh yeah.
I'm
I'm
down
just
for
saying.
Muppets.
I'm
Man. Muppets are dope.
No, I like
Muppets are
that's
dope.
cool. What's the show called?
I don't even remember.
Tommy Jeff, can you
It's-
help us
yeah,
out with this?
It's got the kid from the
I'm
he's a
signing
really
to
good
HBO
actor.
Max on there. I
Really
think.
good actor, but he's the guy from the Beatles movie where everyone forgot the Beatles
I know
The
who you're
lead.
talking about. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
Yesterday.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's the lead on the show, and then it's got the female lead is the one who played.
oh, wait. So it's a narrative. It's not like a real.
no, it's a scripted like 10 episode thing, and it's like a
Gotcha.
fake Marvel universe world, and it's funny.
Oh, okay.
It is
Gotcha.
great because it's stupid. Like Nick Kroll. I will say this though, they totally wasted Nick Kroll, who's great. He came on that show, and they didn't let him be Nick Kroll. Like, it's
Dang.
funny, but it's not as funny as Nick Kroll could be.
Yeah.
Dang.
Richard, what's his name from Hudson Hawk? Isn't it the British guy Richard, who's amazing in everything? Bunny Ball Ball. He was the brother from Hudson Hawk.
No idea what
He's
you're
in it. A lot of really great people, and canceled because they didn't put any advertising and no one saw it. So
Yeah,
therefore-
I'm kind of like we just 1,000% this happened a while ago, and we were too stupid to realize it that cable, you cut your cable right when we reinvented cable, Joe.
yeah. Well, I'm timely.
Well,
You
no,
want-
but you got
true story.
Plex. You got Plex.
So you're going to make fun of me for this. You don't know why? You wanna know what the tipping point for cutting cable was?
Yeah.
The people at Spectrum, they said, "Hey, come in, swap out your new cable box."
Oh, Spectrum fucking sucks.
Oh, Spectrum blows. Spectrum. So I go to get my new cable box and I set it up and I go, "That's weird. There's no digital clock on it." Now I know this sounds everyone likes to make fun of me for this.
Yeah, what the hell? Who cares about this?
Who cares about the digital clock? No. What has been a fixture in every living room since, for me, from someone of my age,
VCR.
every living right, but I don't have a VCR set up. Who has a fucking VCR set
Well,
up in their
that's why you
living
need a
room? Right.
VCR so you get that digital
Well, that's
clock.
my point
It's
being.
authentic.
It has become a fixture in your living room.
Yeah,
Right.
it's
where
true.
you kind of
You have a
keep track.
digital
Yeah,
clock,
you're
yeah.
watching TV or whatever you're watching. You just keep track of what you're
For
doing.
me, it's my oven.
And
My
I
oven
know
has
everyone
one.
has phones on, but you don't always want to look. Sometimes you want to just chill out and not be on your
1000%.
phone.
Yeah.
You need a regular
Yeah.
clock in your house.
So I call them. I go, "Give me a box with I need a clock." They're like, "No, we don't make them anymore." I'm like, "Are you freaking?" So that was like my tipping point of like, you know what? If you're not going to be useful as a clock in my living room, I'm not even joking. You're not going to be useful as a clock, then I definitely don't need this box in here.
That is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's true. Like, and that's a marketing,
No,
it's a marketing
look-
production decision that is absolutely stupid because you gave that piece of your business a function that became a part of of everyone's living room. It just became one. So now guess what we did? We went and got new clocks, and now we don't have a cable box.
Well, Big
But now
Time.
now we have no.
Big Time is starting their own service, is what it is. Then Now
Yeah.
you're gonna have a stream.
Now we
Big
now we stream. Now we
Time.
stream.
Big Time doesn't want you to have clocks.
Dude,
on
I
your
got all
shit
the old
anymore.
Marvel superheroes comics, the old Jack Kirby stuff where they just move them out. I got all that up there. I got all the Spider-Man cartoons. I got Spider-Man 78, the live action stuff
Yeah.
Nice.
with Nicholas Hammond. Nicholas Hammond,
Yeah, Nicholas.
Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I got I'm gonna rip my 18 DVDs. I'm gonna have some 18
It's the
action
way to
going
go,
on.
man. Because I'm sorry, we're gonna go back to piracy here. I think because what the hell?
Yeah.
I mean, not that I'm not saying Plex is
No,
bad.
no, no. Well, no, it's not. No, it's not
But
because it's your own thing that I'm using for my own. I can copy it for my own use. That's how
Yes.
literally how I make my living. That's how GameFly exists.
The
Because
problem with
we
me,
own that disc and we can do what we want with it.
I probably would get rid of all of it now. A problem with me is I watch wrestling.
Right. And I every
Netflix
time I
has it
think
next
about
year.
getting rid of cable, I'm like, oh, but how am I going to watch the Oscars?
See, you have cable.
Yeah.
See, make fun of her. I'm not the last one to get rid of cable.
You can get
Don't make
get
fun
the
of
Oscars
Titty.
You can't
on
like that.
stream it.
antenna.
No, you
I'll-
can't stream
You
it.
can't stream it this year.
And you can't get it on the antenna either.
What channel is the Oscars? I
It's
thought it was
on
like
ABC.
You won't be. You can't get it on the digital antenna.
Mm-mm.
Huh.
I
about
tried
that?
one year. I tried.
Sure about that?
Well,
I think that just
guys
means
wanna
we don't
help
watch
me?
the Oscars anymore.
that's not my
And
Super Bowl.
First year we moved out here, we Rebecca and I and my wife, Joe and Joe listeners know her under her Cobra name, Toilet Teal,
Oh yeah, of
the
course.
Cobra cleaning lady. And Toilet Teal and I went to the Oscars to just check it out, like as tourists, like whatever. So we ended
To
up on
like be like the people in the fans. with
yeah,
the
yeah,
red carpet?
like to see what's up. Like we didn't have tickets to get in, but we were like, screw it, like see what's
That's how
going
you
on.
go. Did you see?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we went down there and we ended up on a corner next to the what's the that hate group that's a religious group.
Oh, the I know what you're talking about. They're
Yeah.
at Comic Con.
Yeah, they carry the signs at all the funerals and stuff. Yeah, we end up on a street corner with those
Ba-
people, with the
Westboro
Westboro
Baptist.
Baptist
Yeah,
Church.
yeah.
Yeah,
I can't even
I
hear
didn't
what's
know this.
happening because of
and
y'all.
and we're in a conversation with the Westboro freaking Baptist Church with the daughter of the Westboro Baptist Church, talking about how terrible they are. It was a wild introduction to LA.
Interesting.
Did they say like, well, this is?
I mean, they're nuts. They're nuts. So,
They
but it was not what we
are
were
nuts.
expecting.
There's
We
no-
went down to check out the Oscars, and we ended up in conversations with the Westboro fucking Baptist Church. It was really weird.
That's LA, baby.
LA, baby. Hey, baby.
That's the
Yes,
big time.
that's how you roll in Los Angeles. Then we went to Musso and Frank's and made a deal, baby. Then I
Anybody,
shot someone in the parking lot.
anybody else angry about Netflix? Anything else to say about this?
That's,
Yeah.
I mean, they're just,
Oh,
it's
I know
just like
you're
anything.
queuing up.
Yeah, this is what we're going to talk about this, and then we need to also come up with another. But we saw a movie, and we'll talk about this movie. But this is, I guess, the last bit of news and stuff. Unless you guys guys have any news? You got some news?
Yeah, it's kind of dumb.
No,
the dumb
bring it.
news.
Lay it
Yeah.
on me.
So I just before the podcast, IGN posted it. There is a secret Mortal Kombat character. Fans do not know how to activate it. But what's kind of cool is that people are making fun of it because whatever fighting arena this is, it's just like a grassy playing field that was introduced in the trailer.
For Mortal Kombat 1?
One.
Yeah.
And they're like, why does this background have higher resolution than the entire game? But the character they introduced, his name, wait for it, is Floyd.
Okay.
Floyd. Bear with me. Bear
I
with
thought
me.
you were about to give me some Floyd,
It's Floyd. And then
like a mechanic.
The barber?
no, oh, it gets even better. So you know how there's Scorpion and Sub-Zero?
Yeah.
They're yellow and they're blue.
Hank and Tony.
Yeah. he's pink.
Oh, Floyd.
Pink Floyd.
Oh, God.
And you can only fight Floyd. You can't play as Floyd
When the moon is out.
when the moon is out. When the moon is out. The dark side.
Dark
Yeah.
side of it. Yeah.
But he apparently has all the powers of every like ninja character. So he has Sub-Zero's power, he has Reptile, he has Smoke, he has
Ermac.
Ermac.
Rain.
Yeah.
But you can only fight him. You can't beat him.
You can only fight him.
But nobody
apparently.
knows how to unlock him.
No, like this was just like there was like rumors like, oh yeah, there's a secret playable fight you can get, and it's like, what are you talking about? People like didn't believe it until someone like screen recorded it, and like now there's like
See, that's
evidence.
awesome. That's not stupid.
Yeah,
That's
that's
awesome.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's like
That is
it
awesome.
was
Yeah, I
like a
love
weird,
that.
I didn't know how to transition into like video game.
Oh, roll, baby.
We're
talking about video
It's
games.
my life. It's my career, baby.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I don't have a next gen system, but Mortal Kombat is one of those games that I
You don't have a
really-
next gen?
No, man. I'm
He's
a
got
dead
Pokemon.
man, bro.
He's got
I'm sorry.
Pokemon.
I'm sorry. I'm surrounded
gotta
by VHS
switch.
tapes. I am so
We're
stupid
gonna
for saying
switch to
I am so dumb for saying it the way I said that. I am so dumb. Guess what? You can get some nice Genesis cartridges for cheap on eBay.
I get a Nintendo 64 is what I'm already in the market for.
Awesome. Do you have the emulators?
No, I don't want the emulators. I want the real experience.
I
of
agree.
playing
I agree with the real
WCW,
ones.
No
I agree with the real
Mercy.
ones.
He wants to blow on the cartridges.
Yeah,
Oh,
I have
That's the
one
way.
Yeah.
at my house.
That you have a 64?
Mhm.
I have an original NES.
I got a plug. I got a 64.
I have original NES. Pristine.
Oh.
It was
Super
given.
Mario
It
3.
was given to me as a gift in like 2003. Yeah, by my boss at the time.
Do you have a Power Glove?
No, but he's
Ain't
like,
got shit
he was
then,
like,
Joe.
he's my boss was great. No, he goes, you know, I bought this thing 20 years ago, played it once, never used it, and it was pristine in the box.
Yeah.
So my NES is mint. It's awesome.
But
That
do you have a mini NES?
I do have the mini NES.
yeah, there's the
Yeah.
mini ones, and those things will hit and the Switch has all those
They
things
hit the
too.
nostalgia buttons. The thing that sucks about those is they don't have the cool games because they're licensed.
That's
Like
true.
the cool games
That's
are
Yeah,
the licensed
that's what I'm
ones,
saying.
so they
That's what-
don't carry those. You know, like
Yeah.
they're not on there. You know, like
Well,
River Raid.
The 64
Greatest
for
game.
the Switch does have GoldenEye.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it does. So
well, that'd be criminal if it didn't.
yeah, it would be
That
everybody
game, that
is
game would
fucking
be
bullshit.
criminal, yeah.
But I want like weird shit like fucking Clay Fighters 33 and a third.
Like I have Knight Rider for NES,
dude.
the cartridge. Like that's not going to show.
What about the
up.
old
No, that's
Alien
not-
versus
no,
Predator?
yeah.
There was like a RoboCop versus Terminator.
Yeah,
game for
that game's
Super
great.
Nintendo.
Yeah,
There's a
yeah.
bunch of stuff that they can't get on those
Right.
systems. So I need the original thing. And yeah, and you are surrounded by VHS.
Well, I mean, there are, and I don't have it at the top of my head, but there are a lot of third-party emulator systems that have the way the cartridge bay is built. You can put all the cartridges in the same bay, like they have the whatever the docking is. Like it's
If-
easy to just pop them in, so you can get emulators because it's
If
that
I
stuff
did an
runs on, like,
emulator,
runs on like 64 megabytes of power. Like it's super easy to do.
the other thing
So you
I've
can
been
use
thinking
the
about,
cartridges in a new system.
well, what would complete this nerd ensemble is a like stand-up arcade system.
Oh, you got to get those. Yeah, the
Yeah.
arcade
Yes.
one-ups, man.
I need one of those guys.
Yeah, you get those, and then you like fire break them or whatever the term is called, jailbreak them.
Yeah, well, you get a Raspberry Pi.
Yeah, and then you load it up with all your games.
Hmm.
Yeah,
There's places that already sell them like that. Shout out to Johnny California in the chat here. That's cool though, Ty. That was a good bit of news. And I'm
Thanks.
so
Yeah,
happy.
Ty.
What's up?
Yeah, look at you go,
What's
Ty.
up? What's up? We're
I
talking
hope-
Pokemon video games, talking
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat video games.
I didn't
Yeah.
realize I
It's
accidentally
1995 all over again.
That's right.
I accidentally
If
hit the
only.
touch up my
I'm gonna play
appearance.
NBA Jam later, Diddy. Come on.
I fucking
yeah,
love
brother.
NBA Jam.
Wait, Pablo, you did what?
I accidentally hit the touch up my appearance button, so everybody looked for skin there for a second.
Oh,
Make
And
the
I don't
little
know how
star
long it's
noise.
been on. Sorry.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, sure. That's an
Uh,
excuse.
yeah.
Nosferatu director Robert Eggers' next film will
Sitting
be,
here with Carrie Lake next to me.
will be a 13th century werewolf movie. Cool.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
This
That's awesome.
we saw a movie. This is going to transition to our next. That is awesome. We all saw it, which is a good thing.
Yes.
And this
I did the Q&A with them.
you did.
That's right.
With
do you have
Robert
any footage
Eggers?
of that?
I do have footage of that.
With
Well,
Robert
why
Eggers?
don't you throw us the footage? What's going on?
I literally
We could
sent you a
break-
picture.
Yeah, but you need the footage to play on the show now.
Okay, well,
It's all right. No, just kidding.
Next week.
We'll
next
post
week.
it
Yeah, we'll
next-
post it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nosferatu.
Loved it.
It's so good.
Loved it. Pablo.
Do you love it, Tommy Jeff?
Well, he had
I came with notes, Pablo, because I'm
You
gonna
loved
fight.
it.
I'm gonna
Loved
fight
it,
you on
loved
this.
loved it.
Y'all giving a star rating here? Are you letterboxing this shit or?
I've
what?
letterbox.
There's some great letterbox.
Oh, I know.
comments.
Reviews of it.
My favorite was you're laughing. Nosferatu has a mustache and you're laughing.
Sounds good.
Well, you know what that mustache was? That mustache was the visual
The
replacement.
tickler.
No, well,
Oh,
yeah, it
yeah.
was. Yeah. It was a way. Nosferatu had to raise some money on that boat ride.
Yeah,
Over
absolutely.
$5 for a mustache.
Yeah,
ride.
mustache ride.
No, that was the visual representation of the original's fucked up front teeth. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because they didn't do that, so you give them that mustache, and it still gives you that look
Also to
without
be like
without giving them the crazy fan
Right.
teeth.
also to look like Vlad the Impaler who had that
Yes.
same
Yeah, yeah.
mustache.
I thought that was great. It's a slow burn too.
It was fucking super slow burn.
Well, okay. Do you know the history of Nosferatu?
Yes, and let's recap this for the folks that may not know. So Nosferatu originally came out in 1921 or 22.
Mhm.
Right, the director wanted to make Bram Stoker's Dracula, and
Mhm.
the Bram Stoker state was like,
No.
no.
Mhm.
And he's like, well, I'm gonna fucking do it anyways because it's the 1920s, and I'm fucked, I'm
FW
fucked up on snuff right now.
F.W. Murnau, who's a fucking genius,
Yes, is that his name? Okay,
cabinet
thank you.
of Dr. Caligari,
Yeah, so he goes ahead and he makes the film, and then the Bram Stoker
and it is just a complete retelling of Dracula.
it is-
Yeah,
it's-
100%.
Well, it's like
There's-
instead of
There's like
London
a
or
little-
Germany.
Yeah, there's like little differences.
Well, I mean, you names and change to protect the innocent,
Exactly.
Yeah.
but literally a retelling of Dracula.
But the
Yeah.
Bram Stoker estate then sues him and wins.
Mhm.
And since it's the 1920s, they're like, well, burn all the copies of this
Mhm.
fucking film.
Mhm.
And they do, and then a few survive.
Yeah.
Obviously, it becomes the cult hit.
And they were found. It's not like they survived and they knew where they were. They were found like in the late 40s or early 50s.
Oh, it wasn't like
It wasn't right. That's my understanding. Is it was not right away. Like it was a while before someone said, "Holy shit, I found a copy of
Yes.
Nosferatu."
Mhm.
And then it's been the dates are probably super wrong. Then they restored that from that. Years later it was restored, but
Interesting.
from that original print they found, they pieced it together and it became. That's why there's no, because they were playing the music live.
Mhm.
So like any music you hear it's them recreating what they think the music was.
Mhm. The music's
Interesting.
gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a silent film.
Mhm.
Yeah. So they would
Wow.
have an orchestra there playing it.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
then they remade it again in what, like the
78.
78.
Kloskinski?
Yeah, 70s.
Yeah.
Klaus Kinski.
Which
Bad
is also,
dude.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Also, I found out the Max Schreck was the original actor from the Nosferatu.
From the
who plays
Nosferatu.
Nosferatu is the name for the villain in Batman Returns. Max Schreck, Chris Walken's
Yeah.
character. From the old
And he was
novel.
also played by Willem Dafoe in that movie, not Gods and Monsters.
Oh,
They made a movie,
Yeah.
a fake movie about the making of the original Nosferatu, where
Mhm.
Max Schreck
Yes.
in that version of it
Is
was really a vampire,
Mhm.
and that was and
Yeah,
Willem
yeah.
Dafoe
Yeah.
played Max. I can't remember the name of that one,
Yeah,
but it was a really good movie, and he played Max Schreck in that.
yeah, and apparently, so Robert Edgar's like, I love Nosferatu, and I want to make this. He wasn't like, I want to make a Dracula film. He was like, I want to make specifically
Mhm.
Nosferatu, and literally, like, what, 101 years from the
Yeah.
original film later,
Mhm.
we got a Nosferatu, and look, it's fucking masterful.
I feel
That-
like you didn't know all that information
I
going
did know
in
all this.
because when you talked to me
Okay.
about it for the first time, you're like, it's just Dracula.
It
And I'm like,
is
yeah, no
Dracula.
shit.
It is just.
What do you
I'm
mean?
saying- I know. It is. It's just. Dracula.
a boat to England. I mean,
Yes, but I'm why.
it's just like that boat movie that came out last year.
So
the meter.
The Demeter. It's just like
It's all the same.
they ripped off the Voyage of the Demeter.
I'm gonna tell you, I thought
How
that
did they get away with? Someone sued the company and burn all the copies.
it was there was moments in the film that were great, but for the most part, I was like, it was fucking boring. I'm sorry, and maybe it's lost on me in the sense of like it's too artsy or like it was very
Uh-huh.
avant-garde and artsy, and like
Mhm.
the shots are beautiful. Sometimes it's in black and white. Sometimes all the tropes are there to make a beautiful artsy sort of film. And it was stunning. And I found out facts after the fact that made me love it
Mhm.
because like there was like the fact of like all the old breathing noises that they didn't use from what's his name?
Bill Skarsgård.
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 It's
They
the castle noise.
yeah, they recycled that to make the castle noises.
Yeah.
So him and the castle would be one. So there's a lot of amazing artistry behind it. And
Mhm.
Robert Eggers
Yeah.
obviously way fucking better filmmaker than I'll ever be. He's fantastic. The movie is fantastic, but it was like there was some stuff where I was like, I thought they would explore on more, and then they kind of just pulled back, and I'm just like,
Yeah,
such
you
a
were like,
slow
they
burn.
didn't make it accessible
Yeah,
enough. I was
that's-
like, what the
Well,
fuck?
this is like
When
the
did you think that you were going to go to a
I
Robert
think-
Eggers movie and it wasn't going to be?
well, no, the lighthouse. I don't know.
Pablo,
No, that
Pablo,
movie's
just
weird
admit,
as shit.
you were turned off because in this version of the retelling, they empowered the woman. That's why you were turned off. Admit it,
Mhm.
because that's what they did. So I like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
they did about this is they gave, and I forget her. It's
Lily
Mina.
Rose Depp.
Lucy, yeah, Lily Rose Depp, but it's either she's Lucy or Mina, but in the movie I don't know.
Oh
what her
yeah,
name
yeah.
is. But they empower her. She's the reason he exists, and she's the reason he goes out of this.
Which
world.
they don't really explain, like what or so basically. And this was
She
I'm
plays
stealing
Ellen, by the way.
Ellen,
from Letterboxd.
and she
They're
was
like,
great.
She
She
was
was-
so good.
Apparently, all those writhings, that was all her. That was not CGI. Like all the body contortions.
Oh, I'll go into
Mhm.
that.
possession stuff.
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
She
was-
did amazing.
yeah, really good.
She was the she
The
was
star of Yoga Hosers.
I love yoga
Well, she was
hosers.
also in that
I love
super
it.
creepy,
The Bratties.
super creepy HBO series that canceled after like 3
Oh,
episodes.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I
Which
mean, we don't talk
The
about
one
that.
with the weekend that
We
was
don't
like
talk about
super
that.
weird and
called The Idol.
Right.
It was
Yeah.
terrible. And
Cringy.
yeah,
Yeah.
cringy bad. And so she kind of redeemed herself.
Mhm.
But that was the other thing is yeah, she was just so okay.
Nicholas Holt also did very good. I
Nicholas
thought. And
Holt
Bill
is-
Skarsgård.
Nicholas-
what?
Nicholas Holt is one of our generation's great talents.
Oh,
Seriously.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, he's
100%.
awesome in everything he does.
Yeah.
He's someone I always want to watch.
With the guy who played freaking Craven with Aaron Paul.
Aaron Taylor
Aaron Taylor
Johnson.
Johnson.
He
I
was amazing.
unrecognizable,
Yeah.
and I was like, "You're fantastic."
He was
Yeah.
as good in Nosferatu as Craven was terrible.
Yes, exactly.
It was like
exactly.
there was a karmic
Yeah,
imbalance
right.
there. Karma was like, I'm giving you
Yeah.
so much quality Nosferatu that I have to suck everything good out of
Right.
Craven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Emma Cronin, the girl who played
Oh, yeah.
Charles
yeah,
Xavier.
Charles,
Yeah.
or with Nova.
Twin. Yeah.
Yeah, Cassandra
She-
Nova. Yeah.
She was his wife.
Is
Yep.
it?
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah. She,
Yeah. Look, the movie from
Cassandra Nova, yeah.
Yeah.
but what it made me want is I'm like, I just want to watch Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula now.
Oh, this was better than his Dracula.
It was
Fuck off.
better.
No, it's not.
I mean, and no, I don't mean
No.
that.
Because you like
I
how,
don't. Yeah.
like,
What?
okay, you were saying like they're
There's-
so charming. It has that charm in it. I get it,
It's
but
not the charm. There's actual like there's like motive for the character. He crosses a fucking, like a sea of time to find you. This one, Lily Rose Depp, was just so fucking horny. She conjures a demon from
Yeah.
forever. So it's just like I really just need to get
what
it
the
in.
fuck is the problem?
What's the problem, Pablo?
Yeah. Well, it's
I don't know.
yeah. It's
There was you know what?
it's
You
the
just
shame-
he
it's-
loved he
there was
missed
no
Keanu
romance.
Reeves.
it's
There
a
was no
commentary.
romance.
It's a commentary on the shame of sexuality that society throws on sexuality. And had she not been shamed into conjuring up a demon, then maybe she wouldn't have conjured up a demon, and maybe she would have just flicked her bean. But
Yeah.
guess what? Guess what? Society says you can't express your sexuality as a young woman, so therefore here comes Nosi,
With that fuck ass mustache.
that fuck ass mustache.
Yeah, no see in your nussy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
If we started, we didn't finish it, but we started rewatching the original, and man, they really in the new one they really captured his crazy boss.
Mhm.
Looks just like the crazy boss from the first one.
Really?
Yeah, like it's really
funny.
good. Like they did a good job of that.
Mhm.
Look, but like I said, maybe it's just I
Renfield.
Yeah,
wanted
yeah. Well, but he's not.
Yeah, but he's
Yeah,
not.
right,
not
right,
Renfield.
right.
Yeah. I wanted a little bit more action. Like maybe
You
this
wanted-
is just like the general.
You wanted
audience is just-
Keanu
I
Reeves
wanted a
going
popcorn.
Budapest.
Look,
We're going to Budapest.
that's what was
That's
tough.
what it was.
Keanu's English accent is so bad. in
I
that.
can't.
He's
come
so
on,
god
he's a friend.
awful.
I
You
love.
can't say
Keanu.
anything bad
I
about
love him.
Keanu.
Love him,
I
but
blame
he was
Coppola.
very poorly
Miscast.
casted.
Miscast. 100%.
Miscast him and Winona Ryder. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah.
She's not good for the part either.
She was but Gary Oldman.
Mm.
There's so
yeah,
many-
he
Coppola's
saves.
is-
He's masterful and he's
Yeah.
amazing.
but that's
Tom
what I felt like
Waits is
Nosferatu
so
didn't
good.
need
Oh,
it.
yeah.
So good.
You should have given me a little bit of the extra, like in rewatching Coppola's freaking Dracula, there's like the scene where he's like shaving him, and then Keanu Reeves' character just where he like quickly licks the knife all weird and stuff like that.
Yeah, but you
Where's
so you
that-
want that like
I want that
quirky
super
comedy
quirky, that's what it is.
and like
No, and I want
Robert
romance.
Eggers.
Kiss me, all right? Kiss me a little bit. I don't want to just.
It's not supposed to be,
But it
focusing
wasn't
on the
supposed to
romance.
be like that at
Yeah.
all. You saw
Yeah,
a different version.
You're right.
I mean,
you like the other version.
You have
That's fine.
expectations.
You have that VHS sitting on this. I'm sure you do. Have
Yeah,
the VHS
Dracula.
sitting right over there.
It's fantastic.
So put that in and watch it.
He watched it when he got home.
Yeah, I
the
watched
night
it when I
he-
got home. It just made me
That's what
wanna
I'm
watch
saying.
that
They
movie.
did something different.
They
They
did something
did.
different.
Look, I'm not saying it's not a great movie.
I'm just gonna send you
It's
all
not.
the videos I took of the Q&A.
It just did, and I'm not
Mm.
hating on anybody. It just didn't. It didn't do it for me.
For you.
But I can recognize game. Okay,
Crazy.
Myself,
Yeah,
I'm game, and I recognize.
Game recognized,
Listen,
game
Eggers, I
rocket,
get it. I
Eggers.
get it, Eggers.
All right, you did
I
good.
recognize
did
your
good.
game.
You-
It's how I
I'll
felt
give you that,
discussing David
Eggers.
Lynch.
all right.
Okay, David Lynch. Game recognizes game. You were great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were all right, Lynch. You did good. You did-
That's wild.
No, it was beautifully made. Tommy Jeff,
Yeah.
you have feelings about this? I feel like you didn't jump on the I love it bandwagon just now.
Feel like his memory is tainted.
I feel like I
Yeah,
can't
you-
talk about my
yeah.
opinion on this right now.
Why?
Okay, I enjoyed it immensely.
Yeah.
So I don't watch a lot of movies, so I scale it on either I didn't like it or I liked it. I liked it. It was a good movie. But you guys loved Lily Rose Depp.
Oh, you
In
didn't like
this.
her.
And
didn't
the
like her
body
hulking out?
contortions, her doing that, like her acting in those scenes are phenomenal. But every other scene that wasn't her contorting her body and just being like really like grotesque and possessed and everything in those moments, like every time she had a speaking role, I, for whatever reason, could not appreciate her character.
Mm.
And I feel really weird saying this because all of you love her
No, it's
and
okay.
like think that she did great, but I don't think she sold her character to me when she was talking and like that character growth and development within it.
Mhm.
Her possession, like when she was reenacting like the moments that she was possessed in her sleep and everything like that, and like all that. She is genuinely phenomenal in those moments.
Mhm.
But every time she spoke, I never was sold on her character.
Mm.
And like that was what makes me, I enjoy the movie, but I don't think I love it because she is one of the main characters and she is so heavily focused within it as well
Mhm.
that it was just hard.
So it's like me with the Coppola's version. Every time I see Winona Ryder, I'm like, oh god damn, get her off the screen.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
And like the thing is like I'm not saying that she was.
They were just actors of
wrongly-
their time, is what it was. That was the time. It was a
Hey,
different
don't
time.
ruin my movie.
And I love
Very
and I
cool.
love the risk and everything, like casting her and doing all this and everything like that. Because like there was parts of it where she was phenomenal, but
Mhm.
like the overall character, I didn't care for the character, and I do think that someone else could have done a better job.
Ooh.
It's valid, but how much of that do you think is due to the story having to somewhat keep us in some kind of suspense to where she doesn't want to admit that she knows exactly what's going on? You know what I mean? Like because there's a little bit of that where she has to, like, we see it in the beginning that she conjures them up, but we don't really know exactly what that was. And so
See,
if she gives it away too much too early to the people around her,
yes,
you know what I mean? So it's I
I
think that's a
don't-
tough feat to pull. I'm not trying to change your mind.
no, and it's a valid point. And like by all means, like conversations allow minds to be changed,
Yeah.
right? Or at least they should. But I don't think like
Oh.
I got that same vibe that she was necessarily hiding it and like she didn't know.
Yeah.
I just don't think like it ever genuinely came up because the
Yeah.
people around her were so like, no, this is what it is.
Right.
Like, and again, like
Well-
take the era that it is,
Yeah.
and like how men and women like associate within society and everything, and like take into consideration the doctors of like, no, just give her more drugs, right?
Right.
Or like, oh, I'll just give her another dosing of this, she'll be fine.
Hmm.
And like, I don't think there was ever that moment of like, hey, like genuine seeking to understand for those around. And she was keeping her place in society in those moments.
Mhm. Yeah.
And like, I think that has a lot to do with it. So no, I don't think it was the fact that she was hiding it because she knew, yes. And like, you can see it in some of the conversations with her husband, like when they're talking and everything, like you can see like she wants to say it, but like, I don't think that like, had she been able to like express that or like knowing that she couldn't express it because she knew it and like hiding
Yeah.
that, I don't think that really does have a play on, in my opinion.
I do hear you, and I do think that there is a way for a performer to bring that out. But then there's also the break the fourth wall on that. There's also the magic trick that the director has to balance to keep it a somewhat of a surprise for us too.
Yeah.
You know, to keep it a revelation because we all know the Dracula story. You know, we have our expectations for it. So when it's revealed, especially the part where they do the feint of, and I think this is pivotal, and maybe this flavors my opinion of her performances is we're going to kill him, and then you get there and he's like, Willem Dafoe's like, nah,
We're not joking.
we ain't doing anything. You know what I mean? Like that was a great moment in the movie
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you think, because like I think they're going because that's the story, right?
Mhm.
So you need that moment of revelation to know the real action is happening back home with Lily Rose Depp.
Mhm.
And if she plays her hand too much, that she's the only way it's going to stop earlier in the movie, it takes a little bit of surprise from us.
Mhm.
I don't
Like
know
as
if
a
that,
director's choice, keeping some stuff from us.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that negates or helps or whatever, but I think that that's part of the juggling act that you're doing in that situation.
But like that moment, because like William Dafoe's character comes in and does a really good job of like being like that crazy
Van Helsing
scientist
guy.
doctor and
Yeah.
everything, and does an amazing job with it. And immediately, like you can see that he's like, oh, I know exactly what this is.
Mhm.
And like his character does an amazing job of doing exactly that, of doing what her character can't do.
Mhm.
But there's just still like, even with that, like with that revelation of like she's got to be the one,
Mhm.
like you kind of get that vibe at the beginning because she conjured it up, and
Right.
like a demon in like any sense, like the person who conjures it is really always usually the one that can only get rid of it.
Mhm.
And that was the whole opening sequence of
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
show, right? But like William Dafoe's character, I think really just amplifies it. So the audience does have that aha moment of like, oh my gosh, this makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
But no, like I really do think like my opinion on the character is the cast,
Mhm.
like the casting specifically with it. because I think everyone else did an amazing job.
Yeah.
Like genuinely, I don't have any criticism about any other person on that show.
Did you hear
What
that,
did you guys think
Johnny
about-
Depp? He's taking shots at your kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
She just needs to do better.
What did y'all
She's a
think
fan-
about
and, like-
Count Orlok's
and, like-
penis, though?
Oh, that hog, that deep swinging hammer.
Yeah.
Holy
Hanging
crap.
on,
You
Get
know.
him- get him taking a run for
Yes,
his money.
yes.
Yeah.
Nicholas Holt has that.
on the wall.
Yeah, that I love that Robert Eggers gave it to him.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah.
Little souvenir. That's the
Souvenir.
ultimate souvenir right
Yeah.
there. Ty, I
It's
know
like, here,
you're,
I'm going to give you a gift. Here's your tormentor.
how much did you hate Nosferatu, Ty? Did you
So this,
Eggers a hack or what?
no, I love this movie. I mean, you know me and the occult, so
Yeah.
Ty's
Ty's a Satan worshiper. by the way.
Sweet.
yeah.
I
No.
Sweet.
But it was so funny. I had an opportunity to see this movie early, which was really cool. And I was actually in a room full of influencers, which was kind of crazy because I'm not the person that like follows a lot of different influencers.
Yeah, you are an influencer.
Well, I mean,
baby.
I
Look,
get-
Deeper Issues Nerdcast influencing the shit out of
Yeah,
that
what's
place.
up?
Yeah, maybe.
What's up?
I was like, I saw someone I knew. I was like, wait, I know this person. This person like covers all the spooky bits in SoCal. Anyway, I got a chance. I was telling Pablo, I got a chance to see Nosferatu. Jared and I were supposed to go, but he ended up going to work. But the symbol of the sigil of Count Orlok, it's a bunch of different runes and symbols. On like 2 weeks before this movie, before the surprise premiere I got to go to, you had to put the symbols in order.
Oh yeah, I remember
Oh,
you said
cool.
that.
It was
while
a
you were waiting in line.
puzzle. So we had to look up the thing, we had to put it in order, and there was a randomized order. If you got it wrong, you had to start all over
Oh
again.
boy.
And we're like, what is it? Is it like a merch drop? What is it going to be? It was a surprise free screening on Friday the 13th
That's
in
awesome.
Century City. And when I saw Century City, I was like, that's where I went to go see The Whale with Brendan Fraser. I bet you anything the cast is going to be there. Sure enough, we go to this movie. Everyone's trying to sit close because, you know, everyone's kind of in on it. I sit pretty close. I'll show you guys the videos. But then at the end of the movie, Robert Eggers, Bill Skarsgård, Nicholas Holt, and Lily Rose Depp come out.
Oh my God, Ty, what is your life?
It was
Oh,
What are you up to?
it was insane. I was just like, oh my God. And then they gave me like a free beanie. But anyway, it was really cool.
A
So I got,
Nosferatu beanie?
yeah,
Did
dude,
you have, like,
they sell it on the
Nosferatu-
merch. I saw it
Okay.
on their website. And it's funny because I on their website, like I also bought her locket, so I have that in my room. I have the beanie.
okay.
I know, like,
this.
why do you want to
I
get-
like
Sorry,
this.
you
let the intrusive
No,
pass.
I was just flexing, you know, some old joints, and Pablo's like, let's. No, I want to
He
hear
was like,
more.
oh my God, the
I want to hear
locket.
more about the locket. I wanna
Pablo
hear
let
about
his-
the locket.
He's
I
like
miss this kid. I
a
don't see
touch,
him
of, a
enough.
touch of romance.
I don't-
Yeah, he let
I-
his
this is
intrusive
what
thoughts take
Nosferatu's
over.
missing.
I've been in love with Pablo for years, and I don't see him enough. So this is amazing.
We'll get you a locket. We'll put Pablo's hair in it.
Oh no, and I already have 3 of those.
Oh,
Okay.
only 3.
Yeah. Only
So what
Had
about
4.
Robert Eggers?
lost one.
So I mean, like, I was so interested to hear what, like, because when the movie ended, I was like, this is phenomenal. I really liked how they used the use of like shadows, and I'm obviously like, Pablo and I were just talking about The Witch. I got to see that at IMAX earlier this year.
Mm.
Robert Eggers kind of dove in and was kind of like went in 100% on like, I wanted Orlok's design to be of Vlad the Impaler. I wanted it to look like the nobleman, like his clothing was specifically picked for this. And then, like, you see it in interviews now, they said had Bill Skarsgård make that voice. Like, he went to different vocal coaches
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
just to get the voice down. And Eggers was like, I really wanted to not make this a Dracula movie. I wanted him to look like a decaying corpse monster. I
Mhm.
wanted it to be accurate to folklore. I've done all this research on character designs of like what Nosferatu could have been. I wanted him to make more human, but obviously a monster. And the whole like the town, like most of that was like kind of built on stage. And then just hearing like the funny stories like what the cast had to share, like they were saying like that scene where Emma Cronin's getting her chest is getting eaten by rats.
Mhm.
Obviously, there's 2,000 trained rats.
Mhm.
But at the
Yeah.
end, of, but
Yeah, Willem Dafoe loved them.
he loved them. But
He's
you know,
giving them kisses.
at the end of the day, they're animals. So he was like, yeah, they were like peeing and defecating on her while that was happening.
God.
And so
Yeah,
we had to
suffer for your
constant.
art.
And
Yeah.
that's what they said. They'll get to
Yeah.
suffer for the art. We had to take that like 30 something times, and we just had to clean her up.
Oh my god!
And
Wow.
he was
Crazy.
just she was just a player.
Fucking rats have no etiquette.
No,
No,
but
not even the band.
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, like he was
Still just a rat in a cage.
still in the rat and cage.
Despite all their rage.
That's all the rage. But it was good. Like, I got to hear Lily Rose Depp talk about how she went to, I forgot what movie she referenced, but she did go to another actress who was famous for their contortions and saying, I had to really practice that.
Exorcism
Wow.
of Emily Rose.
Maybe I think that's
Probably,
that's what it was.
yeah. And it's the girl from
'Cause
Dexter.
that girl-
It's the girl from Dexter
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
who was amazing
Yeah.
in that role. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Her contortions in that were
Yeah,
wild.
it's all right.
Did you boo?
What?
Yeah, he booed.
Well, I
I'm
mean,
not talking about the quality of the film, but she was
She's good.
crazy in that role
She's
with
good.
the
Mhm.
possession
Yeah.
stuff.
so that's what she modeled herself out of.
Pablo over here
I know.
Look,
commenting on
dude,
like, oh, she doesn't contort her
she
body
was a
enough.
good. She was a good role. It was a good role.
Contortions recognize contortions. Hey, everybody.
Sorry if I'm ignoring people. People are saying hello and interacting
hello,
in chat. By
Hey,
the way.
everybody. That's everybody.
What's up?
I blame me. I just,
We're just
I'll suck
talking.
up the oxygen. That's really cool, though.
It was a
Yeah.
it was a
Yeah,
really
that
good.
is
Really
so
neat.
cool.
That's
That is-
really, really cool.
That's what
you.
I'm saying. That's what made me like the movie more after I sat on it. like,
Lilac, the whole
learned.
symbolism. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean the way Joe broke it down. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, all right.
Oh,
okay,
what the
okay.
hell? What the hell?
All the work I've been doing.
I needed a man to explain.
Meanwhile, even though
Wow, it
even
really
though-
is 2025.
even though
Awesome.
TJ was down on it, he still did a better breakdown than any of us. And you're like, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all right.
yeah.
It was Willem Dafoe was for sure the highlight of the movie.
Man, he's so good.
Dude,
Was it? I've seen things that would make Sir Isaac Newton crawl back into the womb.
Yeah, he's so good.
and
He
what's
was
funny
great.
about
The only
the
only time I've ever really, really disliked a Willem Dafoe role is they cast him as John Clark in one of those Jack Ryan movies. And it's-
Oh,
Oh, I
it's
never
the-
seen it.
Yeah, with Harrison Ford, it's the worst cast. He is not that character.
Oh.
It is the only time I've ever actively disliked Willem Dafoe. Everything
Interesting.
else, he is obviously
He's
amazing.
amazing. Yeah. What? Anything else on Nosferatu? We're excited about.
Oh
Roger
yeah,
Rabbit's movie.
yeah. Just like the Craven Karma. What's his name? The guy who played Nosferatu, Skarsgård.
Yeah, Skarsgård.
Yeah, that was his karma for
For
the crow.
Crow.
I knew you were
Yeah.
gonna say that.
Oh my god!
Was it bad?
I was offended.
Yeah.
That
I heard
movie
it was
is
bad.
terrible.
Oh,
Well, this is.
Terrible.
We'll get into our main event here. This
Why
is the
even do that?
main event?
Yeah.
That's a perfect segue.
We live in a world where they burn Batgirl and release Crow.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I'm still pissed about that.
Okay. Hit me with the main event sound. All right.
I need like
that's the sound for
I don't think
Oh.
I need that recorded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Normally we discuss an indie comic, but since this is our 2024 recap special,
I have a list.
and Joe
I have a list too.
perfectly talked about hits and misses, Crow was fucking definitely there, ruining one of my favorite 90s gothic
Mm.
Oh my god.
films. And definitely one of the biggest misses of 2024. We're gonna go through some of our favorite things: comic books, television, and movie in 2024, because we just don't want to think about anything that's happened in 2025 so far. Where do you guys want to start?
Let's start with since we are a comic book
books?
podcast, let's start.
Joe doesn't read in. Joe reads.
I see books right there. What are you talking about?
No,
I'm not. He doesn't read
Well,
comics. He
I've-
reads comics.
no,
and
no, no.
comic for story.
I got 40,000 comic books sitting at home. I've switched to digital.
Yeah.
So
No,
I'm a little behind on my monthlies because I've run out of room.
Well, this is also why I wanted you on here, because I do want the perspective too, because we normally don't talk about Marvel and DC, but I need to know. I mean, there's a few things that I
Well,
picked up.
Yeah.
Last year was the year of Skybound.
Yeah,
Doing GI Joe Transformers, and I'm
Oh, yeah.
not just saying that as a
Oh,
GI Joe podcast. Obviously,
absolutely.
their Transformers book is
Oh, yeah.
amazing.
I-
GI Joe, their
You
GI
have
Joe revival launch is
Yeah.
amazing.
Daniel Warren Johnson.
Yeah. And the way they've handled the GI Joe property is fantastic.
Really?
There's an energy on GI Joe comics that has not been around in a long time.
Nice.
They're really happy with the way they're handling it. Did you see how much money they raised for that omnibus?
Mm-mm.
It's like $6
For the
million.
GI Joe omnibus with the
Million, yeah. They
like every issue
for the first time, all of the issues of the original Marvel run, the 155, were collected, and they've never all been collected. IDW started a run, and they stopped about issue 75 because people lose interest.
Yeah.
Like sales get so low. Marvel never published all of them, so there's never been a complete sit down and read it omnibus. They put out a 4-volume collector thing that costs like $500 for the whole kit, and I want to say it was $4 million maybe they made. Like it's the highest
Wow.
comic book Kickstarter that's ever been done.
A lot of GI Joe nerds out there.
A lot of us nerds, we came out of the woodworks because it's literally, I have a full collection myself. There's a lot of people that don't have full runs. So they came out of the woodwork and supported this thing, and it arrived right at the end of Christmas. It is this beautiful leather bound,
Ooh.
like there's a Joe set and a Cobra set. So the Cobra set's in like red leather with different colored what's the gilding on the edges, one for Storm Shadow and one for Cobra Commandos, 4 volumes, one for it's like Zartan and Baroness. I think Destro got the shaft. And with all kinds of extras and all the goodies that you do, but it comes in this sealed case like that looks great on your shelf. It is a dynamite Kickstarter, and that was huge. Literally the highest raised money for any comic book Kickstarter last year.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Dang. It was GI Joe.
So it's a year of this guy by the Energon universe is what they call it. Yeah.
There was-
And Transformers as a single issue comic book, I think was outselling Batman.
friend, you don't have to sell me on Daniel Warren Johnson.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah, I think it was outselling Batman
Yeah.
a few months.
It was it won the Eisner this year.
Did it?
For- Yeah.
Oh, did it?
It won
Okay.
Eisner, I think, for best writer artist team, something like that. But that definitely best new ongoing series.
Yeah,
It won
it's great.
2 Eisners.
Yeah, it's great.
And rightfully so, because I mean, I don't know if you've read any of his other stuff. Do a Power Bomb.
Mhm.
He did a Wonder Woman scorched shirt.
I read his Jurassic League.
I didn't read
Oh,
Jurassic
that was
League.
good.
Yeah, it was
That
fun.
was good.
Yeah, it was fun.
Murder Falcon. Daniel Warren Johnson does this really good job in like.
Chicago, baby.
Is he from Chicago? Yeah, he like creates. It's like Murder Falcon. I wasn't expecting to be like super emotional at the end of this fucking book because it's a book about like a eagle falcon who's like in this fucking who could only be conjured up when this one guy plays like metal on his guitar.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
That the premise?
It's fantastic. It's right there. and I'm not to spoil it, but a crazy emotional ending where you're like, what the am I fucking crying at the end of Murder Falcon right now? Same thing. He did another book called Do a Power Bomb, which is about like a girl trying to bring her mom back from the dead by being a pro wrestler for a necromancer's intergalactic pro wrestling tournament. You're like, this is
Awesome.
fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
But the artwork, Mike Spicer and Daniel Warren Johnson does all the art, but Mike Spicer does all the colors. Like beautiful fucking book. It's like just chaos and fantastic art. And yeah, that was another book. At the end of it, I got super choked. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm just get choked up for anything now. I don't know. Who knows? But it's fantastic. And yeah, it's Transformers run. I have the trades. I have a few of I bought like the 8th printing just to have a
Yeah,
single
there's
issue.
a ton of printing.
Yeah,
Yeah, but all those covers are amazing.
Yeah.
There's a ton of really cool.
I mean, when you go into
variant covers.
8 printings of a Transformer book,
yeah,
you're doing something right.
you're doing something right.
So yeah. So and that was, I guess, that is Skybound and GI Joe.
Yeah.
Who's on the GI Joe comic right now?
I don't remember. I'm honestly blanking the name.
Current GI Joe. Tommy Jeff.
It
Could you?
is. It's funny. I stopped the shop it was in my hand and I left it on the counter. Yeah, I know. I showed up here and I'm like, I avoid
You,
rivals.
the
man.
host of the Joe on Joe.
I know.
podcast.
I don't know how this happened. I think I got distracted.
But that's cool. Now I want to look at those GI Joe.
They're really good. Well, they
hardbound, like, complete.
what they did is they soft launched it with a Destro miniseries, a Cobra Commander miniseries, a Duke miniseries, and a Scarlet miniseries, and that built up the world of GI Joe. And it takes place in the Transformers world, so it's a total shared universe. So
Whoa.
it starts with Duke as a soldier in battle, and he watches his friend get destroyed by Starscream, just murdered by Starscream, and Duke is like,
Does he know it's Star?
no, like nobody knows anything. Like
Okay,
these aliens come to Earth, and Duke is like, he goes, his boss is like, a giant robot killed my friend, and they're all like, you're out of your mind.
Yeah.
And he goes, no, it did, and they don't believe him. So he has to get all conspiracy theory, and he breaks all the rules to prove that there are giant robots among us, and then that sets him on this renegade path to what they then create GI Joe, which is like, you're going to be here to deal with these kind of threats. Meanwhile, over on the Cobra side, they brought back Cobra La.
The writer of the current series is Joshua Williamson,
That's right.
and then the artists are Tom Riley
nice.
and Jordi Belair.
Yes.
Oh,
Absolutely
all
correct.
right.
Yep.
Right on.
And the artist, Larry Hama, also there's two. Larry Hama also came back, and he's doing the Real American Hero, which is the continuation of the GI stuff
Yeah.
stuff that was being done in IDW. The artist they've got on that one just came back to it, and it is electric and energy. And they got a Kubert brother doing the covers. Like there's an energy in those GI Joe books that hasn't been around for a while.
Interesting.
Yeah. But the Skybound stuff is really, really good. So they just started the ongoing GI Joe Skybound stuff, and they're bringing in all the weird, man. They're bringing in Cobra La, which a lot of GI Joe.
I love that. Wasn't there a talk for like a live action GI Joe with the Channing Tatum
Well-
thing and Transformers crossover at some point?
So at the end of there is still talk. They're apparently
Oh,
they say it's been greenlit, but at the end of the latest Transformers movie, which had the
Transformers 1?
no, that was really good.
That
though.
was really good.
No, the live action one with the dinosaurs.
Oh,
Rise of the Beasts.
Yeah.
It was okay. But
Yeah.
at the end of that, the kid who I thought was really good, he gets pulled into like a job interview, and it's the right hand man from not Game of Thrones, House of Cards. And
Sure.
he's interviewing him, and he's like, "We think you got the right stuff, kid." And he goes to the wall, and it's this plaque that says like Real American Hero on it, and he twists it, and the door opens, and behind it is basically the pit, and it's GI Joe, and there's no one recognizable in it, but he's like, "Yeah, we think we could use your help."
Interesting.
And so it is GI Joe, and he hands him a card that says GI Joe on it.
Whoa.
So that's the start of their crossover. But that movie did not do well. So they say they're doing a GI Joe movie spin-off of that, but who knows what'll happen.
yeah, I'm not.
Snake Eyes was disappointing,
so
to be sure.
Oh no, I
And
didn't.
the other
come
two
on. Come on.
did not light the world on fire.
So you're saying okay? So top 5 comics, Joe Slepsky. What I think the other
From
best-selling
last year?
book that was Absolute Batman, wasn't it?
Absolute Batman was
And then there
DC's
was
highest book.
And then the Spider-Man, there was a Spider-Man one that was a top seller for Marvel.
Yeah. TJ might want to look that up.
It was like 2 top selling comics of 2022.
I was just happy that Krakoa.
Ultimate
I was
Spider-Man,
just happy
right?
that Krakoa ended.
Yeah. Absolute Batman was 1. Ultimate Spider-Man is 2.
Yeah.
And then Absolute Superman, and then Absolute Batman number 2.
were the
Were the top
highest
4.
selling comics.
Yeah.
Definitely best comics, I think, for sure. That I think Somna is disqualified from the. Did Somna come out in early 2020? I have a list. I have a top 5.
I have a top 5.
You have a top 5? Everybody got a top 5? You got top 5, Joe?
Oh, JJ 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. on brand. Joe on Joe podcast.
Yeah.
He's gonna go through that. You're gonna go through the entire omnibus or what?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I literally covered every issue on my show. So
Oh.
in the last 3 years, I've read everything.
You're a little
so,
late on this freaking.
So I was able to
Kickstarter,
get
folks.
I was able to get the omnibus Kickstarter, and then when my wife wasn't looking, basically just put it away.
Isn't
So
that
we have a running joke so that she never listens to any of my products. So she's not watching right now. She doesn't know what I pay for it, and she doesn't know that I basically put it away.
Rebecca in the chat.
No, it's after 8:00. She's sleeping.
yeah. All right. Did he top 5?
Oh, me first?
Yeah. Let's go.
So cool. Okay, so grommets. I
Yeah.
think I have Minor Arcana,
All right.
Paranoid Gardens, Beyond the Trees,
Beneath the trees.
Beneath the Trees. I'll say Beyond, Beneath the Trees, and then the Frankenstein Image.
Yeah. The
comics
Image
released.
Frankenstein book's fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually wanted to check that out.
It's
Looks really good.
it's Frankenstein, the story that is kind of almost happening in the background, but it's all the origins of his parts of what made Frankenstein.
Oh,
parts.
that's really neat.
It's such
That's
a
super
really,
neat.
Really neat
cool
idea.
way into it.
Yeah.
And it's also beautifully done and really sad and tragic because it's like you find out.
Kind of like Nosferatu.
No,
And then
what makes me
honorable mention the FML.
FML.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a pretty good list.
Yeah.
Top 5 tie.
So I wasn't sure if we had to do like top 5 like that we read or like we read specifically on the
Whatever you
podcast.
want, dude.
Mhm.
It's
Good.
fucking
That's
loosey
good.
What
goosey
you were
around
into.
here.
Because what I wrote down, I wrote Beneath the Trees for nobody
Yeah.
sees. I think that this is no particular order. Paranoid Gardens.
Yep.
I did like grommets. I really liked Guild Frame.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
that made my
Matt Kint's
list.
book.
Man,
Yeah.
and it's
Come on, just say it, Joe. Because
I haven't heard of any of these books, and it's
Ugh.
and
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not just because I don't
you don't
read.
like Mike Kent.
No, I'm more mainstream.
Okay, yeah,
No, Matt.
That's-
By the way, Matt Kent,
oh,
not
sorry,
Mike
that's what
Kent.
I said.
You're right. I hate Mike Kent. He's an asshole. Matt Kent, by the way, good writer. It's like when Matt Murdock had his brother Mike.
Mike
It's like
Murdock.
Matt Kent's out there inventing his brother Mike Kent just so Pablo can have an enemy.
It's Matt
Game
Kent.
recognizes game. Mike Kent.
Matt Kent wrote Guilt Frame. It's like almost like a really cute kind of a detective story, and he wrote it with his mom.
Oh, that's
and
fun.
it's about an aunt and nephew detective team that
That's
solve
that's
like
really neat.
like high end blue collar murders of like people
Yeah.
stealing
Yeah.
art and stuff
Mhm.
like
I don't get into indie comics enough. I'm always been mainstream. I'm a front runner, and
This
that's
guy.
to my
Whoa.
to my detriment. No, I mean
that.
totally to my
No,
detriment,
it's okay. This is why
Yeah.
well, this is why on the show you're gonna learn something now, buddy.
buddy.
All right.
Um,
Pretty good. Is it?
Guild Frames, was that your last one?
no, I forgot about FML. So if I'm sticking to what we read, I'll put FML up there. But if I'm just picking up like overall comics that I was able to read last year, which wasn't a lot, I did like Absolute Batman
Yeah.
Yeah.
for what it was. I'm not like a huge Batman fan. So I mean I am a Batman fan, but I'm like a diehard fan. I'm like an occasional reader. And I just like that it was different enough where it was its own thing and it had like its little twists and turns. I was like, okay, I can kind of get into this.
They kept a good essence of that.
Yeah.
I've got some thoughts on
Okay.
the
On
Absolute, the Absolute stuff, and I've read those.
I didn't like Absolute Superman.
I
I was
like-
okay with Absolute Batman. I think maybe you didn't like Absolute Superman.
no. As comic books, I enjoyed all of them.
Okay.
I did. If and who knows what their actual publishing plan is, right? But like if you compare that to the Ultimate Universe, which is very similar, right?
Yeah.
The Ultimate Universe were recognizable enough where you could see a world where that is close enough to the character that if they did take over, it could take over.
Yeah.
These all-star ones or absolute ones, sorry, they're so kind of different in
Right.
some ways that there is absolutely no way these will ever be the mainstream versions.
No.
No.
Like it's just
No.
it's just not
It's just like a what if.
right.
Yeah.
But they're kayfabing it.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? There is this level of like, oh my god, are they going to be? Aren't they going to be? And I'm like,
No.
well, no, man, these are way too different.
Yeah.
And they're good. They're well told. So it's not a hate on the content. It's more of a what's the publishing plan here? Because I kind of want to know what I'm in for
Right.
in a weird way. And
I respect that, yeah.
Yeah. It may not sound too whimsical of me, but it was so different that I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, well, this is an alternate universe, and I'm frankly sick of the multiverse.
Right.
stuff.
Same.
Yeah. So it just that set me out of it. Like I'm fine that this version of Batman went to high school with Killer Croc, but the Batman did not go to high school.
No,
with Killer Croc,
absolutely not.
right? You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's my only kind of itch with those absolute books. It's
Yeah.
it's just Elseworlds again,
Yeah.
which is I like Elseworlds, but that's all they are.
To me, it felt like how Star Wars did like the visions.
Yeah,
That's why I'm looking at this thing as. I was
Right.
like, yeah, it's just a fun little whatever.
Right, totally.
But yeah, it was fun. Like it's been a while since I've like picked up a book, like a DC book, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is kind of interesting. Like I'll give it more of a
Yeah,
go.
it's been a minute since I picked up a DC book, and that kind of lured. I like them changing it up, but you're right. It's never gonna.
It's never gonna be
canon,
mainstream.
They're
Absolutely.
too
not.
yeah, they're just too different. So-
Especially the Superman one. Like the
Yeah.
Batman one, I was kind of on board with. I'm like, okay, you're still kind of keeping the essence of some of these characters. It's a little bit different, but the Superman one, he's not. It's not Superman whatsoever. Oh my gosh, I thought I was on Do Not.
Well, it's weird. The Superman story, they're hewing very similar, at least in theme, to what he originally was. Very working class, very,
Yeah.
I get that. But it is pretty much what Morrison did when they did the New 52. So I was shocked that they went for that same tone.
Yeah.
Not just because New 52 is over, but like literally the last time you rebooted Superman is you did this.
Right.
So if you're doing something different, at least with the Batman one, it is different.
Yeah.
It's not what Snyder did with the New 52 Batman, like they just did go left turn. They're retelling a version of Superman, but it's pretty similar to the kind of stories that Morrison told in his New 52 version of Superman.
I didn't get
And
it.
I just just a
The New 52
just
is
someone who
what
has
kind of pushed me out of
over
some of
1,000
those.
issues of Superman comic books.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Fair. Whatever.
Yes.
Just dismissive. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, here's the comics I liked.
Tell me, Justin, did you have a list of comics at all?
Oh man, I got the best list. Are you ready?
I don't. Did you
All
really
right.
have a list?
So
Somna
no,
5
because
times?
Somna, the bedtime story, did come out in 2023.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was kind of
Yeah.
disqualified. From it.
Otherwise, what a pleasurable read that was.
which I there's elements of the themes that you got from Nosferatu. I feel like were much better told in Somna. I feel like I would have liked to see. Yep, that's right. I said it. I would like
Why
to
does it have to
I-
be
because I'm comparing
related?
them.
That's a very odd comparison.
Nosferatu wasn't that good. Okay.
Oh my god! That fucking chip on your
right now.
shoulder.
Nosferatu was
Everybody
good.
get over it.
Pudding Craven. Dude,
No, I'm not. I will never defend Craven. We'll get to that in movies here. In one minute.
Okay, so my top 5 are Absolute Batman, Absolute Superman, Absolute Batman 2, Absolute Wonder Woman, Ultimate Spider-Man, and the list continues.
There you go. That's the top 5 grossing.
No, but I will say this.
they're all well told
no,
comic
I
books.
haven't read them.
100%,
I was being
Oh,
cheeky as foul with that. No, but I will say this because I didn't read one. I don't go out of my way to read comic books.
No, Tommy
Uh,
Jeffs. We pull him into this.
So I mean,
Yeah,
listen, I
but I
don't
will
nickname
say-
Pokemon. I don't fucking.
Like, why am I here?
Yeah,
why am I here?
what?
Like, what the hell?
He's a pierce.
I'm here for the bun cake.
But Loki, honestly, yes. But
That's a butt kick now, but
love you, Diddy. But
I'm here for the button cake.
but I will say, I think I've read just 5 comic books last year, and they were all the ones that we
through
reviewed.
us. Yeah.
Mhm.
Red
but I will
Room.
say one in particular does stand out to me, and I know Pablo and I talked about this. But The Exorcism at 1600 pen,
Mhm.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I will say has
Right here.
this
That one was-
comic has
Oh, that
intrigued
one's a-
me
Let me see.
immensely, and it
There's
is
so
by
many-
far my
There you go,
favorite
man.
comic.
Yeah, that one's really good.
That was
and
really
I
good.
don't know, and like I'll do a better job of like recapping 2025 and 2026 with you
Okay.
guys with the top 5, but I don't know if I'll find one that I like as much as I've liked that one.
Nice.
Like I
Hannah
don't
Rosemary's awesome,
obsess
too.
Hannah
about,
Rosemary was
Anna
she's a
Rosemary's
sweetheart.
awesome. She's very cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
and I don't obsess much about things, and when I do obsess about it, like it forever goes into like a top forever for me.
It is so topical right now, too, that comic.
Mhm.
Definitely.
It's almost like
That
the
it is.
exorcism didn't take.
No, there's a female president in the
Now we
comic,
know
by the way.
why. Now we know why there was an Exorcist 2
Yeah.
and Exorcist 3. The first Exorcist.
For me, it was Ain't No Grave, and we did an Ain't No Grave episode.
Oh.
Image Comics, Frankenstein, FML. I love Kelly Sue DeConnick. I think who did we compare it to? The girl who wrote Juno. What's the,
Diablo Cody.
Yeah.
yeah, like that style of writing. I
Mhm.
freaking loved FML. Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. And I mean, none of these other ones are in order, but for sure, my number 1 comic of the last year was Grommets.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Grommets was-
I knew those.
I didn't know Kelly Sue DeConnick did FM. I'm not familiar.
Yeah.
Never
Oh, yeah.
FML was on my radar, but she's great.
She's so
Bitch
Mhm.
Planet.
Oh
Bitch
my
Planet.
god.
I
Yeah.
love
Okay.
Bitch Planet.
Yes, Bitch Planet's freaking amazing. And FML is kind of like Teen Wolf.
Oh,
Mhm.
Because it's kind of
Yeah.
like the same sort of thing. It's like somebody discovers, but I don't know. It's just really well written. It's not even really like the story as much as
they
like
discover that they can surf on top of vans.
yeah. Well, no, she creates very endearing, funny characters off of the
Mhm.
jump.
Oh yeah, she's great. Yeah, she's
So-
great. She's amazing writer.
Great job, Kelly Sue DeConnick. And she tuned into our episode for that one. So
Mhm,
What?
I did.
yeah. So shout out for that. Somna was disqualified because it did come out in 2023, but that I discovered it in 2024, and
And it won the Eisner
it did win an Eisner.
in 2024. So
It actually beat out Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, which I was rooting for. I remember that happening. And I was like, come on, now, you guys are going to beat out Beneath the Trees Where Nobody
Mhm.
Sees. And I'm like, this book is smut.
But for
I can't read
Somna,
this in public. Dude, it's very graphic.
Somna
I still haven't read it.
is
I wanna read it.
quite literally a pleasurable read.
But it
Enjoy
is
it.
so fucking well done. Yeah, the art in it is so good. The story is so interesting. Yeah, Somna's great. But 2023. Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees is basically like Dexter in the world of Richard Scarry.
Interesting.
Um,
So one of my disappointments was when I did switch over to digital. Marvel has an app. DC has an app.
yeah.
There is no, that I know of. There's no good app
Well,
for indies.
Comixology.
No, Comixology is garbage.
but I don't. Well, I don't like
Comixology is
Comixology.
I
in
did
general,
subscribe to Comixology, and it was a waste of money.
but that's where you're technically getting your indies. But
Yeah,
also
but you're
they're-
not getting anything new. It's
No.
Comixology was I eventually turned it off, but
and they're owned by Amazon. So fuck
yeah.
it.
But no, there is no good indies like the Marvel, like the DC.
Well,
because
maybe that's why you
I
gotta walk in your local comic shop.
well, I do.
Well,
but
you do. I'm
I
saying that's why
do,
people
but-
need to.
Yeah.
You
No, I
people
agree.
out
But
there-
I'm saying is someone needs to fix that. That's a deficiency
Well, the
in the
two
market.
people in our YouTube
That's a
chat,
deficiency in the marketplace. Oh, by the way, Dan Beals texted me personally. So Dan Beals is watching.
I saw
That show was called The Franchise on HBO 45 minutes ago.
I was looking for this, dude.
Shut up,
Like,
dude.
first
Like,
of
when
all,
did that
I was
come on,
struggling to
2024?
find it, and all that kept coming up every time I was looking for like the Marvel history and everything.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
every time it was the history of Superwomen,
Oh no.
and everything, and it was like all of just like women, like about Superwomen, which was cool to find. But
I'm surprised the internet even produced that result in the year
Yeah.
2025.
especially on January 22nd.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
No, it's called The Franchise. That
Well,
show
good.
was, and it was great. It was so much
Yeah.
fun.
let's segue into last thing. Grommets, definitely pick it up. It's not even over. Brian Posehn, Rick Remender. Dang, oh my god, the freaking artist is escaping me. Although he was like the artist on Tank Girls. Fantastic nostalgia. It's like an 80s Where's Waldo friggin'. It's about skateboarders in Sacramento.
You know what I did last year? Comic books. I completed my Captain America run.
Of
My
which
Silver Age Captain America run.
interesting.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
That was awesome.
what
That
are
was
you gonna do
exciting.
now?
And my new X-Men Till Now run too. I also completed those two things this summer. Those are
Which
big,
X-Men run?
the new from
Okay,
from
okay.
the reboot
Okay,
back in
okay.
76 or whatever. Yeah, those two things, those are my big comic book milestones. I completed my Captain America Silver Age to Now run and my X-Men run. That was really exciting.
That's a
I was-
good feeling.
I really felt good about it. Yeah.
Yeah, to like complete an actual run
Yeah.
or something.
Yep.
I like that. All right. TV shows.
Crap.
So you know what I realized, and I was looking through this. Echo came out in 2024, and I was like, oh fuck.
Oh,
I-
wow.
Echo was in 2024.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? As
Oh,
we just got
Echo was
that-
good. I
I
liked
liked
Echo.
Echo.
Yeah, I liked
didn't-
Echo a
I
lot.
didn't finish watching it. It wasn't.
What?
But I
It's because you don't like women,
Marvel.
especially
No.
women of color.
my wife is a woman of color. I'm married to one.
Right.
But yeah, Echo came out this year. I'll go. This is no particular order for me. I'm gonna go. We're supposed to do 5. I fucking got 10. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I did
guys.
a lot too.
Oh
Okay.
hell, for TV
Okay,
shows.
but I'm gonna
Mhm.
I'm gonna shoot power through it. Okay, Baby
Yeah.
Reindeer,
That's good.
Chimp Crazy. I don't know if y'all fucking saw Chimp.
I
Crazy.
haven't been able to get through it because I love
Holy
Chimp so
shit.
much. I love Chimp so much. I keep pausing and going, look at that cute chimp.
Oh, you
I swear to God, I can't get through an episode because I love
Brave on the Chimp.
chimps so much.
Wise Guy, which was the Sopranos documentary on.
Oh, that was really good.
David Chase. It's really good. The Mr. McMahon documentary on Netflix.
Mhm.
It's really good
What
too.
was sad about that is like I was as a wrestling fan, I was like, oh, I know about all these fucking terrible scandals. But if you're not a wrestling fan and you don't know about those scandals, you'd be like, what the fuck has Vince McMahon been up to these last 50 years in pro wrestling? A lot of crazy shit.
And a lot of illegal stuff too. Criminal
A
stuff.
lot of criminal stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
There
Real
was a
piece
Who-
of work, him.
Who Killed WCW documentary that dropped on Vice. X-Men 97, obviously.
That was dope.
Just dropped that interview with Ross Marquand, the voice of Professor X.
Mhm.
Agatha,
It's really good.
Covenant of Darkness. Is it called Covenant of Darkness?
No,
or
Agatha,
All Along?
Agatha All
Agatha
Along.
All
Agatha All
Along.
Along.
Stupidest name for a really good show.
It was supposed to
Right.
be Agatha's Covenant of Darkness,
That would
wasn't
have
it?
been better.
Yeah, it
it
would've
was
been
it was
better,
supposed to be
but-
Agatha Harkness, then it was Agatha. It was the dumbest name for
And then they changed
show.
it. Have it.
Uh,
Fantastic fucking show.
Great
Mhm.
show. Stupid name.
And
Unacceptably stupid name.
and it kind of for me like because everybody shit on this most recent phase of Marvel. I've said this already before, but all of the Darkhold stuff in this most recent phase of Marvel is the only shit that's worth a damn.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
Darkhold
Yeah.
stuff is good.
Like the Vision Quest, like I mean not Vision Quest, but you know Scarlet Witch Vision or whatever.
WandaVision.
WandaVision, sorry.
You got there?
The What If episode with Doctor Strange losing his heart. I love Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Agatha all along. Like all those things were the best kind of ongoing through line
Mhm.
in the MCU.
Unfortunately, they got screwed with the Kang situation. That's the problem. 'Cause
Well,
they, I mean,
the
they
King
really got
situation
screwed.
wasn't even tied into the Darkhold stuff.
Yeah, I know, but you were talking about this phase of the MCU.
Yeah.
Like they really screwed themselves with that.
Were they doing good with that King situation to begin with, though?
Well, but they made a lot of changes to a lot of things based on
Because of that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Agatha Penguin and then-
Penguin.
Penguin.
Yes.
Yeah. A Penguin hit that little Sopranos thing for me. Like
Penguin was
Mhm.
awesome.
there was
yeah.
a thing that popped up on my social media feed of Colin Farrell in the Penguin costume
Mhm.
Mhm.
at the last episode, talking as himself
Oh,
and like
that's gotta be
thanking the
creepy.
cast. And I was like, I fucking forgot,
Forgot it
that's
was
what you
him.
sound like.
Yeah.
He apparently wouldn't speak like the Penguin unless he was in costume because he felt stupid doing that voice without the costume. on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So he
Wow.
would
How
he
did
would
you know?
only in table reads, he would only do the Penguin voice if he was like in full costume.
I also love
that's
that the
funny.
Penguin finally confirmed that Gotham City's in New Jersey.
Oh, did they really? Did it?
In the driver's license, it's like Gotham City,
Oh,
New
that's
Jersey.
great.
Oh, that's wild. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Great.
Really good. And then this was a little forgotten about, but I loved it in the beginning or middle of the year when it came out, was the Ted show. Ted.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
Our friend Matt Plasman
Yeah.
he's the assistant to the showrunners.
Fantastic show.
It's like fun, very funny
So
show.
hilarious. So good. Shout out. Happy birthday, Diddy. Happy birthday, Libby, by the
Oh,
way. From
thank
Brady.
you.
in the
To our
chat there.
Diddy, not the
Not that,
Yeah.
not P. Diddy.
not Diddy Kong.
Live Diddy. D-I-D-I,
DIDI.
not D-I-D-D-Y. Yeah, that's
Sick
me.
of that joke.
You gotta be.
Apparently Shogun was really good. I didn't see it, unfortunately, but you know, swept at the Golden Globes, didn't it?
hmm
And then
Looking at me,
yeah, I don't know.
you globe head.
Yeah, come on, you Golden Globe head, you. Yeah, that's it. TV shows for me. Anybody else?
Okay. I got
Diddy,
you.
go.
Oh,
Go,
yeah.
Diddy, go.
So I got some of the same ones as you.
Yeah.
So I'll run through them too. I got Arcane season 2. That just came out in 2024.
Mm.
Did you guys watch Arcane?
No.
No, I'm
What
getting,
is Arcane?
I'm getting yelled at to watch it though.
It's very good. It's
So am
animated.
I.
Yeah.
series
Yeah,
on
so am I.
Netflix.
Yeah,
It's on Netflix.
Mhm.
Who's in it? What's it about?
animated.
Animated.
Anime. It's based off that video game League of Legends.
Leagues of Legends. Yeah.
Oh,
But there's a lot of Haley Steinfeld's in it.
Just shut up. Just watch it. It's really good.
okay.
Anyways, the season 2 just came out and in 2024 and it took a long time. So
Okay.
Baby Reindeer, Fallout, I really liked. I really enjoyed
put
it.
That's on my list.
Thought
yeah.
Fallout was great.
I don't know if you guys have seen this, but the completely made up adventures of Dick Turpin.
No.
It was a fucking amazing show this
What's
year.
that
last
on?
year. Oh my god, what is it on? Look that up. But it's Noah Felding, and he's playing Dick Turpin, who's like a famous highwayman.
Okay.
Nothing. You don't know Noah Felding is?
No.
He's in the Mighty Boosh.
Oh, yes, yes, yes,
Mhm.
yes. Okay.
Highwayman, like the Highwaymen, the singers.
No,
like Bob
no,
Dylan and-
highwayman like.
By the way, which I
The-
just got a Highwayman VHS of them live in concert.
Oh,
Fun
it's
fact.
Oh, dude, that Dylan. Did you see the Dylan movie?
Is that 2024?
Yeah, it came out last year. Yeah, it's great.
We'll check,
I've
but
seen
the
it.
completely made up adventures of Dick Turpin you can watch on Amazon Prime Video.
Oh, okay, it's Amazon.
Yeah.
I'll check it out tomorrow.
Okay. Yes, I know.
It's
who
about
it is now.
highwaymen like
You can also
robbers from
say
like the
that was-
1700s.
Oh, got it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that kind of Highwayman.
Yeah, I
Very
remember Mighty Boosh.
And in that same vein, they also did Disney did a Renegade Nell, who was famously in Dick Turpin's Highwayman crew. So there was like 2 shows about highwaymen from the 1700s.
Okay, did he putting
They're-
us on game right
They're
now? 'Cause
both
this is one-
super, really like super good. The Dick Turpin one is more like silly and like fantastical, and the Renegade Nell one is like really goes super hard, guys. And then anyway, Agatha All Along, and then Doctor Who, the new Doctor.
Get the fuck out of here with that Doctor Who.
I swear to God, I fucking will leave right now. Are you joking me? It's a really good doctor. It made me.
Yeah, sure.
Which doctor is your favorite?
No, it's a new Doctor Who. It's a lady Doctor Who, isn't it?
No.
Is that why you don't like it?
No,
Yeah. So upset about Doctor Who. Have you ever even seen a single episode? Really?
I have seen Doctor Who. I much prefer Bill and Ted.
Whoa.
How are they even connected or related
It's like a
whatsoever?
complete parody of Doctor Who is Bill and Ted's excellent.
Okay,
They're
but
not
you
a
can't. You don't have to like
they
one
stole
and
the
not have. The,
TARDIS idea, but they're not a parody of
But they're
Doctor
like the
Yeah.
Time
Who.
Lords, right? George Carlin's like a Time Lord in it.
I
don't know. Look, Doctor-
you don't have to choose one over the other, though.
Doctor Who.
It is a very good show.
okay. It's fine.
No,
I just imagine it just like being like, I don't know, like something is happening and then somebody comes in all British. She's like, oh,
I got
what's
two-
all this then?
I got two problems
I
with
don't know.
Doctor Who fandom. This
Okay.
isn't going to win me any fans.
Okay, go for it.
First of all,
Let me-
What's
first of all, they call themselves
Happy
Whovians.
birthday.
They call themselves Whovians. That
Oh,
bothers me.
boo.
people have done names.
Second of all,
Isn't that what they call the people in the Grinch?
Yeah, I was
gonna Yeah.
say.
Whoville. Yeah. yeah.
Whoville? Aren't
Yeah.
they Whovians or like
Maybe.
like what?
Yeah, I don't know.
My
I didn't
what
know
I've
that-
experienced firsthand with Doctor Who fans is that they are so embedded to one doctor,
Mm.
like their
Yeah.
doctor, to where I've actually absolutely seen them put blinders on to the other seasons where they're like, I don't watch that season. I only like
Oh.
Matt Smith.
Oh
Mm.
no.
And oh no, I've seen this.
Well,
And-
no,
and-
I
and
know that
it's
people
so
do that.
off-putting to me because I am a guy who like if you like I want to watch it from the start.
Like I only want
I
to
wanna
watch Dean
absorb it all.
Cain's Superman.
Yeah, right, exactly.
yeah.
Like I want to kind of absorb the whole thing if I'm going to call myself a Whovian.
Yeah.
But they're like they're so into the one doctor that they love to the detriment of this rich history and tapestry of these amazing stories apparently, and it's repellent to me from a fandom perspective.
If we had to rename the Doctor Who fandom from Whovians, what would we name it to? I vote Whobies.
Don't piss me off.
Who Lords,
Who? Not Whobies?
Tardies.
I said, don't piss me off.
Doesn't he have a cosmic screwdriver or something?
Sonic.
Is it a sonic screwdriver? Yeah, okay. Screwdrivers.
Anyways, the new fucking doctor is really good.
Is that a lady doctor?
Huh? No.
Daleks. Call it
First
they should be
black
called
openly
Daleks.
gay doctor.
Okay, all right.
That's
He's
awesome.
very fucking good.
Yeah,
I've heard good things.
Yeah, it's very good.
I just can't get into Doctor Who. I'm sorry.
You never tried.
It's too British. They talk like this with the bottom of their teeth the entire
Not
time. I'm
even
Wow.
at all.
That was
You hate
Maybe
women and
when it
British
first
people.
started and you're talking about the first or second doctor, they talk like
You hate women
Posh.
and foreigners.
you're talking about the posh doctors, the very first doctor.
I don't know. I just imagine
None of
Oh,
them
shit.
talk like that for real. Do you like
No,
David Tennant?
Let's
David
travel
Tennant,
through
one of the
time.
Dave
greatest
Tennant's- Dave
fucking
Tennant's
actors
dope.
of our time.
Dave Tennant's
He
dope.
plays the doctor. Christopher Eccleston. Fuck.
Okay.
Do not go there with me.
Destro himself. Destro himself was a doctor.
Sorry to the Whovians we may have offended on the show. Sorry, Whovians.
Malekith the
On my
Accursed.
birthday?
Malekith
I
on
am-
my
Oh,
birthday.
On
In
my
front-
birthday?
In front of my salad.
I apologize to all the tardies out there.
Anyway, it was a really good season.
Let's make that a thing.
I'm so mad.
I'm sorry, dude. Happy birthday. I love you. Ty shows of 2024.
I had to like put this together because I was like, oh crap, I didn't watch enough TV.
all
But
right.
I did. I lied. I had to look up. So no particular order. Fallout, Creature Commandos.
Creature Commanders, that's a tough one. I wanted to put that in there, but it kind of bleeds over into 2025.
2025, because it's still going
Also-
right now, right?
But
But it
fantastic.
debuted
It's
in
really good.
2024.
But also,
okay, yeah.
and I'm a James Gunn fan. I already saw his Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah.
That's the problem with I had with
Yeah.
Creatures Commando is this is the same story plot wise. You know, he's great in character. I like him. This is not
Yeah.
a slam on that at all. I can't wait for a Superman movie. Man, I was disappointed with that show because
Really?
it's the same story. Go to a foreign land to kind of
Yeah.
take out their
Oh,
foreign
yeah.
leader and have hijinks along the way. It is the same story as his Suicide
I
Squad
like
movie.
those
I was,
things.
well, no, they're fun. I'm not saying they're not fun. And like GI Robot was great.
Yeah, he was great.
Mm.
They take him to that Make America Great Again
Oh,
rally. He
God.
murders all of them. I came, but it,
6 to midnight.
I was disappointed. I was disappointed that he just he redid Suicide Squad.
Ah,
I really, it
boo.
bummed me out. It bummed me out. It bummed me out. It bummed me out. I'm saying that as a fan. I like his work. It bummed me out.
I mean, for me, it was just like I think Pablo and I were talking about it. It was like because Pablo kind of made a comment on the animation style,
Yeah.
but it was more so like just the characters. Like to your point, like
Yeah.
the GI Robot story was
Great.
amazing, and then just like how they introduced like Dr. Phosphorus, right? Like
Dr.
that's
Phosphorus is
that's a
fantastic.
character I had no idea about, and
Yeah.
then like of course books are spiking up now,
And the
like,
Weasel story was awesome.
the Weasel. Oh, dude, that's what they're
It's so
saying.
sad.
That's what they're
Wonderful
saying.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
wonderful stuff. And he does really great with that.
Right, right. It's
Yeah.
just the introduction. It's like he can take a random ass character and like
Mhm.
make it so human, like Weasel. And I'm like, damn, I thought it was just a kid that was killing children, and
Yeah, that's because they
Damn.
never give you anything on that.
Yep. That's
Yeah.
that's his skill. And
that's
that's
a skill. But
and
yeah,
that's
to
why I
your
think-
point,
yeah.
the plot is very Suicide Squad.
Well, they had an ability to elaborate on the characters a little bit more, which you can't
100%.
do within the constraints of like a
Sure.
film. So
Sure.
Yeah.
Man, speaking of that, constraints of film, tangent but related. I was ripping DVDs to my Plex server. Do you know how long the running time of the first X-Men movie is?
I,
I
imagine
was shocked when I saw this today.
like 90 minutes.
1 hour and 44 minutes.
Yeah, that's fucking
Can you
efficient.
imagine?
film
That is
making right
efficient
there.
storytelling. A team that the general public was not familiar with.
Mhm.
So you had to introduce this team really to the world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wolverine, Magneto, Xavier, those three backstories, Rogue, the four big backstories.
still holds up pretty well too.
It holds
Yeah,
up.
it
It
holds
holds
up
up
for
really
sure.
well. In 1 hour and 44
I love that.
minutes.
Amazing.
I was shocked when I saw that number
More
today.
of the, you
More
know,
of that.
obviously
More of that.
Free
Yeah.
Bird,
Yay, game recognizes game.
I don't want to compliment Brian Singer, 'cause but
We'll compliment his editor. I don't know who's
Yeah.
editor.
Yeah.
whoever in charge of editing that. Good
No,
taste.
I was genuinely shocked at that. I'm like, man, more modern superhero movies could take
I
some of
agree
that
with
editing.
that. I agree with that. All right, sorry. Continue, Ty.
Oh, no worries.
Creature
I
Commandos.
did like Agatha. You know what? My dad and I had a good time watching Skeleton Crew. I like
Mhm.
Skeleton Crew.
I watched it with my
Ding,
kids.
ding, ding. It's great.
Yeah.
Skeleton Crew is amazing.
So
Yeah.
super fun, and like I think it just captured the essence of like to have fun in Star Wars. Like Star Wars was for everyone,
yes.
Mhm.
and I loved it.
It was the first Star Wars thing. I know there's like Star Wars kids shows stuff. My kids aren't super interested in it just yet, but it was like the first Star Wars thing that really like captured them. They were
Oh,
like,
good.
oh wow, like,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
love it now.
And
So-
they didn't need to focus on like a Jedi. I mean, yeah,
Love
of
it.
course, you
Yeah.
know there is one, but like it's not
He's not a
focused on
Jedi,
him. It's focused on
It was the adventure,
yeah.
which really, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was Luke and your dad and stuff. But the first movie was the adventure.
Right.
It wasn't about like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Luke's journey was later in the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really enjoyed Skeleton Crew.
Yeah, Skeleton was
Really
awesome.
great.
It
The
was
kids
good.
were awesome.
Kids were great.
And how hard is it to get good kids? Like those kids, all four were great.
Yeah.
Somebody on the internet put out a fan theory, which is not true, but it was like could be a Captain EO origin story.
Just like
Could be. You
God.
just said it could be a fan theory
Well,
because you
no,
really.
it could be an origin story. It is a fan theory. It could be an origin story for Captain EO because of like the elephant and the kid that kind of looks like.
Oh,
that kid was in the movie was not great.
Bad
but-
Santa.
Yeah, no, not bad. Santa.
Oh,
this-
Santa.
Where Jack Black's Satan.
Yeah. So
Oh.
you're talking about
He's
that. movie.
dyslexic. He's dyslexic and he misspells.
Dear Santa.
Yeah,
Dear
yeah,
Santa.
yeah,
That movie was a lot of fun. It wasn't a great movie, but it was a
No, no,
lot
it
of fun. And that kid was amazing in that movie.
Yeah.
He was so good in that. And then I'm like, oh yeah, he also awesome in Skeleton Crew.
Yeah.
That kid's really good.
I also thought that was just kind of cool to see like suburban life in like
Yeah.
the Star Wars. It's
I
like,
love the whole,
like the whole community.
inn.
I was
Yeah.
like, hey, wait a minute. I've never seen a lawn before.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
They got
I
a
like that.
sprinkler system. This is great.
Well, just how it would have developed if the old Republic had.
Yeah.
like, I don't know. Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Super good.
that it?
No,
Yeah.
Agatha. I know this kind of bled into 2023 to 2024, Invincible season 2, and I just threw it in there because
I love Invincible.
it's so
Yeah.
good. It's coming back next month, and this is just like a
Oh,
little
it's coming
fun
back
thing
next
I threw in this, and I did this kind of for Diddy. Last year, 2024 was the 10-year anniversary for Over the Garden Wall.
Yeah.
and
I was.
we were blessed with a 2-minute short.
And a 2-minute short.
True.
It was good.
Yeah.
Over the Garden Wall.
Over
Tyler,
the
Jeff,
Garden-
did you make a list or I don't know? If
I want to add Invincible to my list because it did bleed over in 2024.
Yep.
I don't have a list, but I did watch 3 TV shows
Oh, yeah,
Wow.
this whole year.
Okay, what are the three?
So Agatha, I watched partially because of you guys,
Okay.
and I fell in love with that. That was
Yeah.
actually
Great.
brilliant.
Mhm.
Silo season 2 came out, and I've watched all of that, and that has season 2 made that probably my favorite TV show on Apple TV. To be just blunt, And then I did watch Shogun with my mom. And
Okay, so you're one of the people that watched that show.
I was, and I
In this
did,
room.
I
Yeah.
did thoroughly
It's true.
enjoy
I was like, I
it.
think a lot of people
I enjoyed
watch.
it quite a bit. It became like a thing where like my mom and I would watch it every week.
Nice.
cool.
Nice.
It was enjoyable. I loved it. It was enticing enough for me to keep watching it again.
Cool.
Yeah, but those are my three, and those are the only three shows.
That's a good.
Those are
That's
the
a
only
solid
three TV
list.
shows
Well,
that
you're,
I actually
you're
watched
in law
all year.
school, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, you're busy.
yeah,
Yeah.
I try to be.
Cool. All right. TV shows. Let's see.
I know.
Finally.
You skipped me again.
You skipped
Oh
him.
yeah,
Oh, son of a.
we've got a rhythm.
I was waiting.
Yeah.
for
But
it.
I thought you were just gonna go on a clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought
But-
so too.
I'll start
And
with
I
you
get it. For the
movies.
record, I interject a lot. So I understand.
You just are so part of the conversation. All right, sorry.
It's, I need to force myself in these.
Okay.
It's like I'm with my own family. Like I'm here. I
You
have
got middle
thoughts.
child
I have
syndrome right
thoughts.
now.
I'm the baby.
You have thoughts, but you don't have lists.
That's true. Yeah. Fallout was amazing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Really loved Fallout. I really enjoyed Skeleton Crew. Agatha was awesome. Penguin, the best.
For,
Mm.
Penguin was the best
Phenomenal.
for the whole year. That was week on week. I was watching that.
yeah.
Invincible took so long between seasons.
I know.
I liked the first season, but I just not made any time because I'm like, geez, I don't even remember what happened, even though I know it follows
Yeah.
the comic and all stuff. The Boys season.
Oh, that's
Awesome.
The
Mm.
boys.
I
Yeah.
think it was the fourth episode, that one really, really good episode. That
Mhm.
was some of the best TV I saw.
Forgot about the boys.
Yeah. Oh, and Last of Us. Was that last year or was that 2 years ago?
I think that was 2023.
yeah,
Yeah.
it might have been 2
Yeah.
years ago. Yeah, but that
I
that,
love Last
that
of Us.
one episode of The Boys, I think it was the fourth
Mhm.
episode. Amazing television. Really, really, really good. Yeah, so that's the John
Anthony Starr, right? Is that the guy?
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
awesome.
dude.
Yeah.
That just that dude's subtle emoting throughout that entire show.
Mhm.
Like when I can't remember the vlogger, whatever that he's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
like
yeah.
he's like
Firecracker.
yeah, firecracker.
Yeah.
Where she's like coughing or whatever, like sitting down, he's just like making his like
Yeah, it's so
disgusted faces.
disgusted by everyone around him.
His reaction when he gets squirted with the milk.
Oh,
Just-
I think that show is so good. I hope they stick to landing. It's
Yeah.
I really enjoyed
how many
the
more seasons of that is there?
I think this is gonna be one
I
movie.
think
Right?
this last one is the final one.
I heard rumors that there's gonna be one more season and it's gonna end with a movie.
Okay.
And I feel like a lot of people are trying to go for that
yeah,
route.
yeah, that makes sense. I think it's been great. Even the spin-off show I actually enjoyed a lot. The
Oh, I
one
didn't
that
wa-
took place in
Yeah.
college.
Gen
I
V.
Gen V,
I
yeah.
liked it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
liked it a
that
lot.
was
I need to
really, really
watch
good.
that.
And unfortunately, one of those guys died.
Yeah, I heard
Oh.
about
Yeah.
that.
But the show was great. Yeah.
I'll
So
check it
yeah,
out.
no, I yeah, it's great. I love it.
Well, Joe, since I'm skipping you, why don't we start off? Why don't you give me a movie list?
Yeah,
here?
start with your movie.
Let's start with you.
Okay.
We'll loop it. We'll do the clock and we'll let
The
you start.
Crow,
I did tell you to get some misses.
Werewolf,
That's Werewolf
Wolfman.
2025.
That's what-
I told you to hit some of the worst.
yeah,
Did
some of
you-
the worst. Craven is terrible. Craven
Mm.
is.
Did you watch it? You did.
I totally saw it. So yeah, I mean, I go see all this stuff.
Did you guys see Craven? Anybody?
Craven
No.
is-
No.
Absolutely terrible. Here's just a slice of the fun and the brilliant writing that is in Craven.
Oh.
Craven says to the lady who's Calypso,
Oh.
they're kind of, he meets her as a kid and then they meet again as adult, and he's saying to her, he goes, I'm the greatest hunter on the planet.
Shout out
I
to
can,
Jamie.
I can
Chapman.
find
I'll jump
anyone on
out.
the planet. Pauses for a beat. I need your help to find this guy. What is the point of you're the greatest? You shouldn't need anyone's help to find this guy. If you need to bring her into the story, which is fine,
Mhm.
it can't be to help find a guy.
Yeah.
Your superpower is you hunt people.
Isn't it?
You
Isn't he
can't
like?
immediately go to quote in the movie, I'm one of the greatest lawyers in England, like in London, like or New York, whatever. You can't go to her to help find anyone. That is the rule. It's like the Flash being like, I'm the fastest man alive, but could you give me a little boost? I can't seem to get going. I need a Kickstarter here.
And his power doesn't that come from like a
Oh, it's-
like drop a line?
Yeah, they try to tone it down from I think what their original plans were, but yeah, he gets some lion's blood in his body,
Oh.
and he's mauled to death, and in order to save his life, Calypso as a kid drops her voodoo vial of goop in him, and it saves him. But in the process, he has all this lion blood in him.
I'm so
It's so dumb.
I'm so
and
glad they
I
gave
can't-
up on all this.
I
movies.
can't believe that they thought releasing the first 8 minutes of that movie was going to get people excited to see it. That was the most boring 8 minutes of a jailbreak I've ever seen. It was not interesting. There was nothing new about it. Craven was garbage. You know what else was garbage? Venom.
I didn't.
The
Yeah, I
movie.
didn't watch it.
I'm so glad they're done with that Sony thing.
You know what was
The story-
fantastic
the
was
story-
Madam Web, but just
Are
only the
you
scenes with Sydney
high?
Sweeney in them.
You're
Yeah,
high.
he-
Was Madam Web last year too?
I said if there's a
Was Madam
supercut,
Web last year?
I don't know. Was it?
Oh, it was. Oh, it was.
If there was only a supercut of just the Sydney Sweeney scenes, I'd be like, this is a 5-star film.
You're a menace.
I'm calling it now. I'm
Yeah,
calling it
it's
now.
2024.
Shut Sony down. Sony, stop
No, no,
making
no. Across the
movies.
Spider-Verse.
Madam Web, terrible.
Sydney Sweeney's not though.
Stop yourself.
All right.
Can we just
Creep,
agree on that?
Cretin.
All right.
The Crow was terrible.
The Crow is awful.
Crow was hot garbage.
Mhm.
The same reaction that I remember when they released the stills. They're like first still images from the Crow.
Oh.
It was the same feeling, and you were there when it happened. Remember when we first saw the Jared Leto Joker?
Yeah.
And we were
Oh,
like,
Oh.
a
Well, this
visceral,
can't be real.
a
What?
visceral reaction.
Oh,
Just like
just repulsed.
yeah, it was like
Just repulsed.
freaking.
this is a joke.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he fell into like a vat of Papa Roach CDs instead of chemicals.
Oh,
The Crow fell into like I don't know.
Yeah,
a
the
vat of
Crow-
Tekashi
Absolutely
6ix9ine,
terrible.
Like, I don't know.
Oh.
absolutely terrible. So those were garbage. Talk about Joker. Here's the deal. I'm fascinated by Joker too.
Me too.
I'm fascinated by it.
I
Me
haven't
too.
seen
is-
it yet.
It is. Let me be clear. As a standalone movie, it is not good. It is absolutely Joker 1.5,
Yeah.
and it should have been the third act of the first Joker movie. 100%.
I
It was
agree.
the third act because
Oh.
as a film, it relies so much on the first movie.
Mm.
Like I've seen the first movie many times, and they're bringing in people in his court case that I'm like, I mean, obviously I remember them as characters, but they're talking about these details that
Yeah.
have no resonance in the movie you're watching because you didn't see them.
Yeah.
There's no reminder, there's no flashbacks, there's no nothing.
Mm.
So like that movie fails on that front. Not that a sequel always has to 100. Obviously, sequels reference the first movie.
Yeah,
I
of
get
course.
that, but it doesn't stand alone. It is absolutely what the third act of the first movie should have been. Having said that, I love the musical stuff.
Yeah.
I thought that was great. I thought it worked really
I'll
well.
tell you, I fucking liked it better than Joker 1.
Interesting.
I didn't love Joker 1 at all. This is an infamous opinion.
Well,
it's not,
yeah.
it's derivative garbage.
See, I don't mind that. I don't mind that because
No,
it
but-
was derivative, but in the superhero world, it's like we've never seen a superhero version
But
of.
it didn't have a
of
real
King of Comedy.
message. I don't know. It was Mark Bernardin said this. He kind of hit the nail on the head. It was like somebody doing a cover of a cover song where they never heard the original.
Yeah, true. Very
Yeah,
true.
right,
No,
and
you're
that's-
totally right.
And
Yeah.
that's kind of what it felt. It's like,
And that lack of that, you're right. That lack of having an opinion is what allowed so many douchebags to latch onto it.
oh my God.
Which was then
Yeah.
Todd Phillips's response in this one to
Which-
say to all those douchebags, "Go fuck yourself," which I thought was also brilliant.
And I feel like, yeah, something about this second one for me was, I was like, I
I enjoyed it.
think I enjoyed
Yeah,
this movie.
it,
just now.
it stayed with me. It's
People
absolutely stayed
really
with me.
shit on it too. And I'm like, what's going on, guys? This
No.
movie's pretty
Yeah.
entertaining.
It is small though. I think it's too small.
Yeah.
And I think like you barely get out of the prison. Yeah,
Nothing
the
really
only- the only-
happens in the movie.
No, right. And the only shots they have of like the thing that I did enjoy, or at least they were doing in the first movie was it was a Gotham Revolution.
Yeah.
And if this is the trial of the Gotham Revolution, there was no Gotham in this movie. There
Yeah.
were like 3 shots of Gotham, and they looked like they were straight up out of Dark Knight, which was a fun nod at the end of the movie with the cut in the face.
Yeah.
But they really felt like Dark Knight, which I felt was very intentional. But that's barely in the movie. So there is no sense of a bigger play, where in the first Joker he was a revolution to that city they were showing us. You may not have loved it, but it was the whole reason he existed and his being on trial was he was starting a revolution, whether we wanted to or not. The city kind of came behind him. And there was no city in this movie. They talked
You're
about
right.
it. They talked about it, but there really wasn't. And then you get to the end and the guy stabs him because he betrayed everyone, but the quote unquote everyone was not present in this movie. Or it was just all embodied in Harley, and we didn't get enough of who Harley really was.
Yeah, she was way different.
Yeah, but I liked her. I liked Gaga.
Yeah, no, I like that.
yeah,
Lady
you know.
Gaga was great.
Yeah.
She was great.
And I
Uh,
love the musical stuff. I'm a sucker for a good musical.
me too.
Me too.
Yeah.
I like the musical stuff a lot.
Yeah. I thought they used it really well. I thought it was a great way to, with the first movie being so much of it of a reveal that what we saw was in his head, you know, because that was
Yeah,
the reveal in
yeah,
the
yeah.
first one. Like we thought we were watching what really happened.
No,
And then you see Zazie Beetz go like, that dude's never been in my apartment, or you know what I mean? That moment of reveal, that was that for this. So the whole first movie was his inner monologue. And then in Joker 2, we just straight up go, yeah, his inner monologue is this.
yeah,
These crazy, insane dream worlds.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be a reveal. We're just gonna live in it.
yeah. I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of people. I think you're right. It was definitely his response to like all the
Mhm.
kind of people that
The incels.
took the yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
it's the man who gave us the what's the documentary? Oh, damn it.
Well, it's a completely misinterpreted film, like just like Fight Club, right? Like
Right,
everybody
Mhm.
thinks
right.
Fight Club is. There's a whole group of guys that will watch Fight Club and think it's like, oh, this is what it is because real men are
Yeah.
being torn down. It's like you're
Or
missing the
American Psycho.
or American Psycho.
Mhm.
You're missing all of the message of this film, and it gets carried away with a fan base that kind of shouldn't.
Yeah.
And I like. You're right. Maybe that's what I liked about it, and I didn't realize is like it was a response.
So Todd
Yeah, for
Phillips did one of his first projects, and I know
Was
I'm
The
taking my-
Hangover? We know.
No, 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 no.
He
No,
saw
no,
it.
no, 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 no. He-
Four Guys, Bachelor Party.
no, no,
Vegas,
no, no.
Mike
Yeah,
Tyson.
Wolfpack.
Mike
Yeah,
Tyson.
Wolfpack. Zach Galifianakis.
Gigi Allen. Do you know who Gigi
Oh,
Allen is?
the,
Yeah, I
yeah,
couldn't remember his
the
name.
movie about him?
Rochester,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that.
He did the documentary on Gigi Allen. That was like his first. That was like his
Interesting.
film student film, and that energy, I think, is what
He
the
took
energy.
into
The guy
Joker.
that wants to do that is
Yeah.
the same energy of the guy that says, "Oh, you want me to make a sequel to the Joker?"
Yeah.
I'm gonna make it a musical.
Exactly that. It's that same. Well, fuck off. Here it is.
I love it.
Mhm.
Yeah. By the way, I was just. I don't mean to be texting while I'm online.
Yeah,
but
how dare you?
the aforementioned Toilet Teal just said, "Are you driving home yet?" And just like I predicted earlier, my wife don't watch
Thanks
shit
for
that I
tuning
do.
in, Beck.
So I just wrote, "I'm live right now."
I thought you were just looking something up. I
No,
thought you were looking at the
I
Gigi
did
Allen.
look that up, but yeah, so there you go. But no, I think that the Gigi Allen documentary, which is crazy, and Gigi Allen's nuts.
Yeah,
you know,
it's a disturbing.
yeah.
it's very
documentary.
disturbing.
He's a disturbing individual.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's Todd Phillips. So
yeah,
Interesting.
the guy who does that, he absolutely drops Joker 2 on you.
yeah. Kind of like that.
I have to rewind a little second here. I forgot to mention Only Murders in the Building, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
so good.
Yeah,
So- okay,
definitely.
sorry.
That was a good season.
Diddy. Movies.
Okay.
Hit us with them.
Okay, Monkey Man was probably one of my
Oh,
top
wanted to see that.
movies of the year. Dune Part 2, huge fan. Late Night with the Devil.
Oh, I forgot about
Really
that.
good.
Yeah.
Saturday Night.
I
I'm a huge
enjoyed it.
Saturday Night Live nerd, and
yeah.
it was super good. Everyone did so amazing. I was like, "Are you guys just
Yeah,
doing
I
it?"
loved it.
It was
I really loved
really
it. Yeah.
incredible. You know what? The Fall Guy. Fucking love that movie.
Right on.
The
right
Ryan
on.
Gosling?
Right on.
I haven't
Yeah,
seen it.
dude.
Everybody. Okay, everybody says it's great. I'm
Yeah.
sure it is.
So much fun.
Yeah, it's super fun. Is the thing.
As
And
the
it's just-
guy who said Nosferatu needed more fun, maybe I should watch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no.
go watch a fun movie.
Now, have you ever watched the original? The TV
Yes.
show? Were you a fan?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
love Colt
not.
Seavers.
And I love anything that's like stunt nerdy,
Yeah,
about
yeah,
stunt stuff.
yeah.
So it's really cool. Also, another fun one was Abigail. It was a good vampire movie. I really liked it.
I
Totally
didn't
agree.
see it. Okay.
It was fun.
Abigail's a
I heard it
lot
was
of
great.
fun.
Yeah,
That's it.
not like you're watching. You're like, oh my god, this movie's amazing. But you're like, that was a good time. I thoroughly enjoyed myself
Mhm.
with that movie.
Mhm.
And
Oh.
also, Caddo Lake was another horror movie this in 2024 that was really good.
Which one?
It's called Caddo Lake. Had Dylan O'Brien in it. And it was really good. It plays with like time and
Bex did join the chat just now on Instagram. I
Did she
saw.
just join?
So now you got to tell her about the GI Joe omnibus and what you did with it.
Damn, I'm still under the
we
bus.
can rewind.
All right.
Damn.
I didn't watch Abigail. You're not the only person that's
Abigail's really.
Abigail
haven't
and
seen
Fall Guy. Yeah, I feel like you
I'll
can
watch
do it.
Fall
It's
Guy.
funny.
It's all Peacock, isn't it?
Fall Guy came out in 2024.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Wow.
That's
it's
crazy.
really.
It was a whirlwind of a year.
It's a really good movie.
Yeah.
Ty.
But Monkey Man, you guys should all watch it. It's very
That's
fun.
not
I
Monkey
heard
Man is
mixed
so
reviews on
good.
Monkey Man.
I
No,
liked it.
They're wrong.
Okay.
They're wrong.
Fair enough.
Monkey Man.
All right.
Yeah.
Ty.
In no order, but I do have a favorite, but I'm just gonna go off the rest. Despite of what it was, I had a good time watching. I did like Alien Romulus.
Oh, Romulus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
it's
loved
okay.
it.
It's pretty
Thank
good.
you.
I
I
loved
liked
it.
it. Everyone else like knocked. I'm like, what's wrong with
I
it?
love it, and I don't bring back. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't. I mean, the character Bishop. Yes,
Yeah, I
Yeah,
liked it. I had a good
no.
time.
Bishop. What was it? Rook? Was he Rook?
Ro-
Rook.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring back-
It was cool.
it was
I
great.
liked it, yeah.
Yeah. And I like that you saw a different part of Alien than you've never ever seen before, like
Right.
them on
Mhm.
a planet.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
miners.
The miners. Yeah. I thought that was
It's
cool.
fine.
Plus,
It was not like great, but it was it was fun.
Yeah, it was a fun movie.
anti-gravity alien acid.
Yeah,
Oh, dude.
What a great idea.
Dude.
Yeah.
That little thing at the end.
Yes.
What the hell?
Yeah.
And the actor who played the android,
Uh-huh.
amazing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He was so great. And
Yeah, he made me
the-
cry.
The switch, yeah,
Oh,
all
God,
of
I
it.
know. And they're bringing them back. They're doing a sequel,
Good.
which is good.
Mhm.
That's what they're saying about the Alien franchise, that they need to.
I'm excited for
Bring
the
it back.
TV show.
That's right. They are doing a
Mhm.
Ooh,
TV
it came,
show.
yeah, there's billboards
I
up for it
forgot
now.
about that.
I fell asleep twice trying to watch the movie twice.
Tomorrow's Alien Romulus.
Yeah, I know. Look, I know, man. All right. And I am an Alien fan, and I'm sure I'll love it, but it's just
I feel like you're just trying to be a contrarian.
I'm not.
Like, I really
I'm
feel
not.
like
Do you want to go back to
are,
AVP
No.
like,
or AVP Requiem?
Take it easy, everybody. All right, it's fine. Go ahead. Ty, finish it. Up.
So that's like my Deadpool Wolverine, that's like
Oh,
a-
yeah. Sorry.
Loved it.
right?
Loved it.
That's like the little end credit scene got me. The
It's-
little
That
Oh yeah, that was emotional.
yeah, because
yeah, it was emotional.
Yeah.
It was the goodbye to that Fox
Goodbye to the
universe.
whole
Yeah, it
Yeah.
felt like a goodbye, and
It
well,
was,
it was a goodbye, but
and it was like the highest rating. My favorite part about that, because we talked about it on the show, it's the highest grossing R-rated movie. It beat out Passion of the Christ,
Thank God.
and that's why they're saying that Marvel Jesus
hey,
beat
don't
regular.
disrespect-
Marvel Jesus.
It's about God's son.
Yeah, and
Why would you-
I thanked him, for letting Marvel Jesus
Well,
surpass.
Marvel
now-
Jesus beat regular Jesus.
Yeah, right.
Well, now Mel Gibson is coming out with the Passion too.
We don't want it. We don't want it.
Although he did direct this crazy new airplane movie
Mel
with,
Gibson.
with Marky Mark.
Oh, where the plane's going down.
That
Fucking
looks
wild,
kind of cool.
man.
It's wild.
I need less Mel Gibson in 2020.
Yeah,
Yes.
let's
Well, you're gonna get more of them,
You're gonna
actually.
get
That's gonna be the
even
case.
more.
Yeah.
No.
Sugar tits.
All right. What else, Ty? What else?
The Substance, obviously.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We all talked
it.
about that. That was playing earlier.
Yeah, loved
One of my favorite movies this year was Anora.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
Anora is really good. Just the colors, the storytelling, the pacing, like you're just so tense.
Yeah.
Loved it. Nosferatu, sorry, Pablo.
Oh, Nosferatu's on my list.
It's great. It was a good movie.
And my
it. Nose for Pablo.
Nose for Pablo.
It's not my jam all the time. You know.
What I will say, Pablo, what you might like, my favorite movie of last year, maybe it was The Experience. I went to a small little art theater in LA and I saw a French film called, I've talked about it before. It's called, the whole title is Humanist Vampire Seeking
yeah.
Consenting Suicidal Person.
Yes.
And it was just a sweet, fun film. Like, obviously, it's a low budget film and there's, vampires. They don't show a whole lot of gore, but it's just the idea of like this girl wants to drink blood because she has to, but she doesn't want to kill anyone. And it's like not conforming to
Fair.
societal rules. It's like, you're a
That's
vampire, you
fun.
have to go kill
Mhm.
someone. And it's like,
Yeah.
no, I don't want to. And it's like, well, you're going to live with your aunt. She's going to force you to go do this. And lo and behold, she finds this kid who's just constantly getting bullied. And he's like, I'm going to kill myself. So why not have me? Just,
Oh wow.
and it's just like, it was just so good. And like, it was one of those things. And we talk about physical media all the time. Like, I remember for like Christmas, I was like, what do you want for Christmas? I'm like, nothing. She was like, pick something. I'm like, this movie. That's like the one thing I want.
Blu-ray.
Blu-ray, yeah.
Nice.
You can buy it on Apple TV or stream it on Amazon, but it's like $25 on Amazon.
I'm gonna watch it.
Mhm.
You
So
loan me that Blu-ray. You
Yeah.
can also watch it on my Plex.
True.
That's true. There you go.
Make it happen,
Boom.
baby.
Full circle. I love it. That's awesome. But yeah, honestly, like,
That sounds great.
yeah, it's like near and dear to my heart. Made my letterbox top 4.
This guy with his letterbox account is like, damn.
Yeah.
But I don't do like funny comments. Like
I did. There's some great comments.
Yeah.
on there.
my favorite one from Nosferatu was like, "Oh, people could sing along to Wicked, but I start biting people in the theater, and I'm the bad guy."
Amazing.
Oh, I
Uh,
finally saw Wicked.
I'm gonna. That's well. I'm gonna
You
jump
like it?
here because I know that's
I wasn't
if
a fan.
Tommy Jeff's gonna say anything. He's gonna say Wicked, and Wicked's in my top 10. Tommy Jeff.
Oh, so you want to give a top 10 and steal my top 2?
Okay. Yeah. Because you only saw
Like,
two
I mean, I
movies.
have 2.
Well, these are the rules.
Wicked, and was it?
These are the rules. You skip Joe every round, and then when we don't, we only give him 5.
All right,
and
Tommy
Pablo
Jeff,
takes
take-
10.
Yeah. So I only saw 2 movies. So I will succumb and allow one of the movies I saw to go to Pablo.
Wicked. You
Wow.
know,
And
okay. Well,
that-
you can take it, and I'll tell you why I loved it. Sure.
No, Wicked is definitely my favorite movie I saw
Fantastic.
of the two.
I enjoyed it quite a bit.
It was genuinely just, but that was also my first like Broadway style theater show that I ever went and saw. Like, there's a lot to it that was just amazing. I saw that with amazing company and all that. Genuinely blew me away. And then Nosferatu.
Mhm.
Son of a.
Yeah.
This guy. And those are the only 2 you saw.
Those are the only 2 I saw of all
Okay.
2024.
All right.
And honestly, they were both genuinely really good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
TJ only watches movies about witches or vampires. That's it. That's it.
I will say I do enjoy Hocus Pocus quite a bit too. So yes, I mean it's quite accurate. I did watch that, but that didn't come out last year.
Monster Squad. I'm in.
Wicked is definitely in there, and we've gone through this discussion, so I'm not gonna do it again. But I hadn't seen musical. I had to sit on it. I'm like, that movie made me feel, and then like I sat on it for a day.
It's really well made.
Yeah,
It's-
and I
Dude.
sat on it for a day, and I was just like,
I
fuck, I think this is one of the best things I've ever seen.
I wish I could review it like through how you got to experience it.
Yeah.
again, because like honestly, it's we've talked at length in one of the podcasts.
Yeah.
But, like it is just so great.
I hate to say this to take wind off because I do enjoy Wicked, but you're also the man who loved cats.
Hey, fuck.
Yeah.
Bro,
Don't
don't do
get
that.
started.
Don't do that to me.
Hey, man.
Yeah. Hey.
Do not do that to me. I hate cats.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So
Never
but I'm
saw
just
it, so I
saying.
can't
So
truly speak
Pablo's
to it.
Pablo's
Misunderstood
signing off on a musical.
masterpiece.
Pablo's signing off on a musical. Also, grain of salt.
Okay.
Cats.
Dude, Cats is fucking great. I have a whole episode. of
It's
it.
not opening
All right.
weekend.
All right. There were some bleed throughs, but I feel like a lot of people maybe saw these things in 2024. Iron Claw, obviously. I know. it came
Yeah.
out in
Oh,
2023,
yeah.
that was great.
That was
but holy
2023.
shit, Iron
Was it?
Claw.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came out Christmas 2023.
That's fair. Yeah,
So
I
kinda
loved
like-
Iron
Yeah,
Claw.
okay.
Kind of like
Iron Claw
Nosferatu
was
in
really,
2023.
really
And then Poor Things also came out in the holidays,
2023. Yeah,
and it bled over into January 2024.
that's fair.
Ghostbusters came out this year. Not great, but I loved it because I just,
Mhm.
Ghostbusters. It wasn't. Look, I know,
Bummed
it's
me
not
out.
good.
It was 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag.
It's not good, but I'll take more. Give me more.
I want more too,
Give me
but
more Ghostbusters.
they gotta tighten it up.
Yeah,
I don't. They're.
it was. Look, I know.
It was too much.
I know it was. It wasn't
It's
great,
too much.
but I'll take what I can get because I've been fiending for more Ghostbusters for this long. That I'm just not going to complain about whatever you give me.
No, I hear you.
What Late Night with the Devil
Mhm.
is
Great.
definitely on there. Substance is definitely on there. Transformers 1 because I went and saw that with my kids.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Saw it in 3D.
Awesome.
So
So good. The marketing team for that movie
So-
should never work in
I
the
agree.
industry again.
I agree. That movie was so good and yeah, very poorly marketed. I'm so glad Finn wanted to go see it like as soon as he saw the trailer. So I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, let's
Yeah.
go see a little
Yeah,
film.
probably the best Transformers movie they've ever made.
Really?
Probably the
Yeah.
best Transformers
Wow.
movies ever
Yeah.
made.
It's- I
Absolutely.
mean, and I like the original animated one. Like
Yeah.
this Transformers 1 is so good. It's
Yeah.
so good.
Damn.
It's more like classism. And there's a lot, there's
Yeah,
so
there's
much in it.
levels to it.
It's really good. But I like
And
Arcus, all
funny.
that.
And very
And
funny.
very funny.
Very funny.
Everybody is so well cast.
And they don't shy away at the end from like making Megatron the bad guy. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But you realize there's heart to it.
absolutely.
But like they don't like he doesn't soften up at the end. No, he's Megatron.
no, he still
He's a
turns into
bad
Megatron.
guy at the
Absolutely.
end. And you're like, I really like him.
Yeah, he takes the approach. Absolutely, it's so good.
Yeah.
Definitely, anybody watch it. I don't want to spoil it too much. The Bike Riders, I really love.
Oh, Tom
Loved
Hardy.
it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Tom Hardy,
Need to watch
yeah,
that.
Austin Butler. big fan of the Humans comic though too. I just like anything that's a biker kind of exploitation film.
That biker movie, I really enjoyed it. That without the motorcycle stuff, that was like my dad's biography, and I'm not joking. I'm not joking. South Side of Chicago era, all that stuff. That was that was the vibe we were raised in. So
Yeah.
I'm watching this, going like, I was getting flashbacks. Without, he wasn't a motorcycle guy, but all the rest of it,
That's
100%.
Tom Hardy's balance. For Venom.
100%. Yeah, I loved it. I was like, Mom, Dad, you guys got to see this movie.
Saturday night as well. Deadpool, Wolverine, Dune 2. Probably my favorite movie of last year was The Wild Robot.
Oh, I can't wait
I
to
didn't get to
see
see
that.
that.
Seen
I
that
didn't
yet.
get to see
Haven't
that.
seen
It's
that.
coming out on the
Shoot.
28th to stream
Y'all,
on Peacock.
it caught me
I have
so
Peacock.
off guard. It
Use
is
it.
beautiful. It is just beautiful. It's a beautiful film.
I can't wait to watch it and cry.
It is, yeah, it is. It's a tearjerker. Niagara Falls, Frankie boy. As
Niagara
soon as you
Falls.
watch this movie, I swear, like from the get-go, I'm just like, why am I emotional in the first scene?
That trailer made me cry. I know I'm
Yeah.
gonna be.
Yeah,
like they-
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It caught me off guard. It was
More
a
or less
sleeper.
emotional than Wally
Wally's sad too, but
It's
Iron
different.
Giant.
or Iron Giant.
it,
Even
it reminds me of Iron Giant though, and Iron Giant just destroyed.
It's okay. So it's like basically every scene is like the scene of the Iron Giant saying Superman.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Damn.
oh, it's so good.
It's gonna rip my heart out.
But in the most beautiful way. Like
Yeah.
just like how that it
Yeah.
is so good.
I can't wait to see it.
It is so good from the get-go. Yeah, you'll believe you can love a robot.
Oh my
If
God, I'm so
yeah.
hungry.
somebody else needs to make the anti
Well,
they're the anti-Tesla.
I already
robots.
knew I could love a robot when I used to watch Small Wonder.
Yeah, okay. And then other hit for me was The Apprentice. You
haven't
guys
seen
watched-
it,
was
no.
with
Sebastian
Trump.
Stan.
It was Sebastian Stan on
Oh,
the
funny.
Trump biopic and his I can't
I
God,
couldn't bring myself. I like Sebastian Stan a
No,
lot, and I'm
it's-
sure the movie takes the piss out of him. I couldn't bring myself to.
I feel like
Mhm.
it's an important movie to watch. Because it
Is
does-
it not a comedy?
Oh, it's a tragedy.
it is-
Yeah.
Oh, it's a
it is,
tragedy.
and,
Oh, is it like a for real?
yeah,
Wow.
Yeah,
Jeremy
but it-
Strong
Oh.
plays
It's the biopic.
plays
Brilliant.
Roy Cohn.
Dickhead.
Yeah, it's very, I'll tell you, it's not biased, not a biased film. It's very much, this is kind of fact, like,
Hmm.
because you can find all this has been around for long, all the Roy Cohn information,
Right.
him being Trump's lawyer, him basically, kind of taking Trump under his wing, his strategy that was later used in The Art of the Deal was all Roy Cohn, who kind of came up with those strategies. How Trump got the freaking tax abatement when he built like
Mhm.
the Commodore Hotel, because you have to. He did clean up New York, right, during a time when New York was really having a hard time, but obviously there was a lot of
Yeah, but
a lot of
it's called the red line.
yeah, it was a lot of kind of, and it was very interesting. Sebastian Stan did a great job. And Sebastian Stan did a really good job, and he wasn't just like a parody. You know what I'm saying? It's very easy to obviously you're gonna play Trump, you're gonna talk like this, whatever. He wasn't that. He played it pretty straight.
You know what he's really good as? Bucky.
He's surprising me, Sebastian Stan. He's hitting some things. But
No,
Jeremy
I like
Strong-
Sebastian Stan. a
Yeah.
lot.
Jeremy Strong as Roy Cohn. I mean, Jeremy Strong. That's his amazing.
Jeremy Strong.
He's The Apprentice. He's freaking
Yeah,
yeah.
you
He's
said not Jeremy
not
Strong,
The
but it is.
Apprentice. No, Jeremy Strong
Is it-
is amazing.
Mark Strong,
No, Jeremy Strong, who not
the guy from
Succession.
Secession. Yeah.
Yes. Fantastic as Roy Cohn. Fantastic, and definitely one of my favorite movies.
Yeah. I'll get around to watching it one day once. Once someone takes him. I won't say it.
Watch it. Watch this film, folks. Very important because it. I feel like I don't know. It gives you, I think, an understanding of what you're dealing with.
I think we all understand
Think
what
we
we're
already
doing.
know.
Yeah, I think I get it.
A complete failure of
Well,
the
look-
national public school system for decades.
There's
Got 'em.
Generational failure of public schools.
there's very interesting stuff in there. Yeah, I think that's all I have for films. So yeah, that's it.
Wow, we did it.
We did it.
He did it.
We got through it. We did go very long,
Sweet.
Yep.
but it's okay.
I blame me, man. I tangent. I
care.
do it.
We've done this.
We
before.
always
I didn't listen. I didn't drive through rush hour traffic to get out here just to sit around for a half hour. Dip in.
Absolutely.
How
For
was your
sure.
week? Great, thanks. Do that over Zoom.
Yes, exactly.
I come to the palace to stretch it.
Exactly.
Right.
Making it long, stretch it.
Exactly. And we got a little bit of a later start either way.
Yeah, it's still not as long as the Wicked one. The-
We
But just
will-
remember, in less the time that this podcast took, we all watched X-Men 1.
Ah.
Yeah, X-Men 1 did it better. We will be back next week. We will be back to reviewing comic books. We're gonna-
Less people were molested.
Oh God.
Next week we'll be reading Seasons by Rick Remender, right? New Rick Remender book, Seasons. He's got a lot
Seasons.
of
Oh yeah, I didn't know we were reading that. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yep, that's what we're reading.
Then-
Seasons, baby.
Then new Ice Cream Man. Remind me to get that next week.
New ice cream. And a lot of new stuff drops next week. We will be back with a number one comic book to introduce you folks to. We'll review, read live on the air. Before we wrap it up, let's go. Anything to plug? Joe, where can we find you on all these socials of medias?
Joe on Joe Pod, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram,
That's it.
and any podcatcher. Joe on Joe's on there. Been
Absolutely.
around. If there was one that I'm not, tell me. I'll put it on there.
And what are you doing right now?
Well,
as
right now
far-
I'm actually, it's been great. We pre-recorded a 12-part dissection of Action Force, which was the British version of GI Joe. They licensed GI Joe. there. It's really cool, yeah, because they did stuff different. Well, you know who?
the real British hero. Yeah.
Well, you're talking. It was edited by Richard Starkings, right? Comicraft. He knows this. You know Richard.
No.
Oh, he's a name. He was the editor. So it's all very tight. Brian Hitch did a lot of the pencils on some of the stuff. Like there's some really good names on there that worked on the book. And in Britain, they took a harder edge. So no one was getting their necks snapped over in America. In Action Force, they're snapping necks and cashing checks.
Fucking
Ooh.
British.
It's
snapping
Yeah,
necks.
it's so good.
colonizing.
Yeah,
It's
so
all of it.
my co-host Michael Nye, who was a listener who reached out and said, hey, I got a full run of Action Force, do you want to cover it? This was like around this time last year. I was like, yeah, well, first of all, let's meet. And so we met, and he was cool and he was great, so we worked it out. So all summer we recorded these, and it was so much fun because I've never read those
That's
comics.
pretty.
Yeah,
That's pretty interesting.
yeah, and it's neat. It's like when you're super familiar with a thing, and then someone's like, yeah, well, here's this whole other version of it that
Mhm.
you've
It's a
never
bizarro
explored.
version of it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so
I bet
we're
that's awesome.
wrapping that up now. We're on like episode 10 this week, I think.
Nice. Action Force.
Action Force. Yeah, so we called it. Everyone makes fun of me because I think it's more clever than it is. We renamed the show because his name's Michael Nye. Joe Nye loves Action Force. I was making a pun on Joni loves Chachi.
Yeah.
And I am endlessly amused by that. All my friends are like, that's not that funny. I'm like, no, it is.
No, it is. Ginny, where can we find you?
You can find me here or live.julian on Instagram.
That's it.
Mostly here.
At the Deeper Issues Nerdcast. Ty?
Yo. You can find me at Ty Photography on Instagram. I guess TikTok, even though I don't post anything there because it's somewhat back. And then obviously here at the Deeper Issues Nerdcast. Also helping running my friend's socials at
Yeah.
Ray's Comics.
Ray's Comics
yeah.
here in
So-
OG,
Awesome.
in
Yeah.
Garden Grove.
In Garden Grove, right down the street. So my brother and I, you can find him Project Mayhem 3 with the O.
Yeah.
My brother's really knowledgeable in like creating comics and like getting cards sent in for grading. So we're like most collectors just have a ton of stuff that we need to get rid of. So we're
You guys are
cleaning
just getting
house.
one half of the Chow Bros on the Deeper Issues
That's right.
Nerdcast, but at
Love
the
it.
Ray's Comics account, you can get
Get both of us.
both of them.
Love it.
Yeah. You get a Chow Bro sandwich at the Ray's Comic. Tommy Jeff, you're on social media. now.
Yeah.
And you're
I blame you for this.
I was like, man, you kind of started for me, and now it looks like it's an official account.
Well, I mean, official, dude. I
You're
don't know
the
how I
real.
have like 80 followers on there. Like, it's not a lot, but like, dude,
Is it what are you on Instagram?
it's Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my handle is at the Tommy Jeff.
The Tommy Jeff.
Yeah.
There's only one.
No spaces, no underscores, no nothing. Just
it.
at the Tommy Jeff.
Nice.
Find Tommy Jeff. He's got one post so far, but I was like, dang, Tommy Jeff. I thought you were just only doing it initially to keep an eye on our comments, and I'm like, now he's committing to the bit.
Yeah. So every Wednesday, I will be putting in my story the podcast.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
There you go.
Awesome. Pablo, where can we find you?
You can find me here at the Deep Issues Nerdcast. That's it. Deep Issues Nerdcast on all social media.
Coming at you from the heart of the OC.
Yeah, we're beautiful Orange, California.
Deep in the bowels of Orange County.
Yeah.
Welcome to the OC, bitch.
Absolutely. This is where we'll be. This is where we'll be. Yeah. I guess that's it. That's the show then.
Thank you for having me on. It was really fun.
Okay. You did it. You did it. Until next time,
Fantasies of God.